We'll start with a small exercise. Everybody has pen and paper? Okay. You have been sitting for quite some while. Sit straight. Breathe properly and close your eyes. Some people have difficulty in closing eyes. They can't close their eyes. They keep one eye open and see what others are doing. Don't worry about it. Keep your eyes closed and think of all the teachers who taught you. Whatever you can remember from your primary school onwards. How many teachers would have taught you? So many teachers. Try to remember their faces. You will find a gallery of faces before your mental eye. You find a good teacher, some very strict teacher who punished you, some kind teacher who supported you. You remember their dress, their walking style, the writing on the board, their voice modulation. You remember all of them. You find a gallery of faces, one after the other. So many faces come. This is your way of offering your tribute to your teacher, remembering the teacher. Remember as many as possible. Some made you a leader. You never thought you were a leader, but your teacher made you a leader. Teacher supported you emotionally when you were not happy. Some teacher maybe financially helped you, guided you in the moments of crisis. So many teachers have come in your life. Remember all of them. Okay, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Now the next exercise is more interesting. I'll give you 3 minutes time, not more. I'll set my watch and 3 minutes time. Please write down the names of all the teachers who taught you. But one condition, all the names should be real, not imaginary names. All right? And there is no competition to write more names also. You'll all say, how can I write all the names in just 3 minutes? But start writing, you will have a wonderful experience. This is a beautiful exercise that you can't copy from anybody else. Initially, pen starts writing down very fast. 5, 6, 7 names come very quickly to mind. After that, the pen may slow down. You feel like scratching your head and say, yeah, I remember his face, but I don't remember the name. Those of you who have just come out of the colleges perhaps will remember more names. Very interesting. Now you will understand how long is this 3 minutes. One minute over. 2 more minutes are there. Yeah? Pardon? Anybody. You can write in any order. Need not be from primary onwards. Any order. As and when the name strikes you, write the name. It need not be in a chronological order. 3 minutes are over. I'm happy you have written large number of names. I have done this exercise in almost every continent on the globe. And I got the same results. Let me see whether you give me different results today. How many of you have written less than 10 names? Less than 10 names. How many, ma'am? How many? Ma'am? 6. Okay. Ma'am? 9? Okay. How many, ma'am? 7. Anybody less than 6? How much, ma'am? 5. No problem. Good. 5 is the minimum. How many between 10 and 20? Oh, that's a large number. Very good. Between 20 and 30? Oh my God, there are people. Between 30 and 40? Nobody? Between 30 and 40? Anybody written 30 names? So how many, ma'am? 32. Very good, very good. How many, ma'am? 31? Okay. 31? 30? Exactly 30. So yours is how many, ma'am? 32. 32 is the highest. Your good name? Madam Shreya has written 32 names. I think we should clap for her. 32 names in 3 minutes is not easy. All real names? All real names, that's what. I have done this exercise, I told you, in every part of the world. Only it was 5 years ago in a place called Shanghai in China. When I was doing a workshop for teachers like this, one Japanese girl who is a teacher there, she wrote 54 names. That is the highest I have so far received, and she says all the names are real, and I believe her. When Shreya wrote 32 names, we are all very happy that she wrote so many names. You have an idea as to how many teachers have taught you? Can you make a wild guess? All through your career, from whatever level you started, from LKG, UKG, whatever, up to master's degree or your graduation degree or teacher education program, how many teachers would have taught us normally in India? 70, 75? Any guess? Anybody can make a better guess? I have done some research on that. I have taken the extremes in India. We have a land of extremes, We have a village school where there's one teacher teaching all the grades, multi-grade teacher. One teacher teaching 5 classes and all that. It's also there. And we also have international schools where one subject is taught by 3 teachers. Is it not right? You had so many teachers, art teacher, dance teacher, music teacher, craft teacher, physical education teacher, so many teachers you had. I took the average of these 2 extremes, and according to this average, in India, when you get educated from pre-primary to your degree or graduate teacher education program, we are taught between 100 to 125 teachers. Let's not take the maximum. Let me take the minimum of 100 teachers, average. Shreya wrote 32. When we say that we are happy that she wrote 32 names, does it also mean that she has forgotten 68 names? When you remember 32 names, it also means that you have forgotten 68 names. Probably you may say, how can I write in 3 minutes, Give a little more time, I'll write more. Take this paper back home, keep it on your dining table, keep it for 48 hours, not just 3 minutes, 48 hours. And every time a new name strikes you, go and write in the paper. I can assure you, you will not be able to write more than 15 names to the list you have already written. You will not be able to add more than 15 names, because those who are to be remembered are remembered, those who need not be remembered are forgotten. Is it not right? What does it mean? A large number of names are lost in the hazy cloud of memory. Please remember, large number of names are lost in the hazy cloud of memory. You don't remember them. If you are going in a shopping mall, you find a person passing by you, you don't even recognize he was a teacher. You may not recognize. Maybe he taught you in the first standard, second standard, you don't remember. But when you see some teachers, you tell your husband or wife saying that, I think he was my teacher, I don't remember his name, but I think she was teaching me in some class. I've seen her in my school. Is it not? Has it not happened to you? You remember some teacher by face, but don't remember the name. You remember teachers for various reasons. Not for one reason, for various reasons, you remember your teachers. Some teachers, you remember because of their dress. Yes or no? You remember teacher because of the dress. She used to come with an impeccable sari, pin in the right place, hair properly put up, hold the books in her hand and walk like spring in her feet. And when you were a student, you thought, if I become a teacher, I'll be like her. Yes or no? You decided, dress impressed you. You wanted to be like her, like him. Is it not right? Appropriately dressed, not fashionably dressed, but appropriately dressed. She was so confident, bundle of confidence. You remember some teachers because of the dress. Students, don't forget your dress. Please remember that. Why I am particular about this is, dress of a teacher is very important. When I was teaching in the Harvard School of Education, one day I went into the library. There are 5 libraries in the Harvard campus. I went to the education department library. And the young lady sitting there on the counter, I asked her, how many books do you have? She looked at me and said, books, you mean bound volumes? I always thought books are bound volumes only. Yes, I told her. Not many, she told me. Not many, okay, but how many? She said about 1.2 million books are there. 12 lakh books. Even if I collect all the weekly magazines, I can't make it 12 lakhs. I asked her, how do you collect so many books? She said, very simple. Look at the vision statement. Vrinda is here, I am happy. The vision statements have to be very, very simple, very, very clear. Especially yours is the nascent university. Make the vision statement so easy. That Harvard taught me a lesson. The vision statement there was so simple, we should be able to give any book the student asks for within 15 days. That's all. Any, underline that. We should be able to give any book to the student that the student asks for within 15 days. I was keen. You have all the books? She said, as many as students have asked. I said, do you have the Masti Venkatesh Iyengar's first story collection of 1931? I hope all of you know Masti Venkatesh Iyengar, a great Jnanapith Award winner. I asked her, she said, Masti, please type. I type on the computer Masti Venkatesh Iyengar. Lo, there are 2 books. 2 books there. 1931 publication is, 2 copies are there in Harvard School of Education. I came back to Bangalore, went to City Center Library and asked the librarian, can I have the book? She said, oh, your old books are, where is it available now? This is the difference between visioning and executing. Therefore, when I was free, I went round. There was one counter, huge rack of books with the title, I'm not exaggerating a bit, with the title, Dress of a Teacher. I thought Americans are crazy. You write so many books on the dress of a teacher? There were, about 5 years ago, not now, maybe more now, 1,642 books on dress of a teacher. So much research has gone on about the dress of a teacher. And it says very clearly what kind of dress you should wear to the class. You want to wear a very bright red sari to the class. You may look gorgeous in that. But you know what happens to the students? They are watching your sari more than your class. Has it not happened to you? Students come and tell you, ma'am, your sari is so nice, ma'am. Is it not right? That means they are watching your sari more than what you are teaching. Your sari is a distraction for learning. Therefore, be careful about what kind of dress you wear. I have seen people wearing shoes with very tight, what you call hard material. It goes on making tuck, tuck, tuck sound everywhere. You become like a old Morse code telegraph operator. Cut, cut, cut sound. You're making a lot of distraction noise you are creating in the classroom. Your dress is important. Therefore, they mention to you, so much research has gone on, what kind of dress you should wear to the class. You should not be very bright. They did a lot of research. What kind of dress? Light color dresses. You know, color is important, my friends. What color soothes your eyes most? You know that? I'm a science student, so I should tell you that. What is visible radiation? Science teachers are plenty. A lot of science teachers are there. Visible radiation, it is called 400 to 700 nanometer frequency. Color is nothing but a frequency of radiation, which does not hurt you. Even if you are reading a book, seriously involved in it, some red color flashes there, suddenly your attention is drawn towards it. Because what are the colors of visible radiation? We call VIBGYOR. Violet on one side, red on the other side. Violet and red are the extremes of our vision. They suddenly draw your attention. That's why you see long lorries carrying luggages, they have violet lamp at the back side. Or the tall buildings on top, they put the violet light. It draws the attention of people. Similar, red also. Why danger signal is in red color? It draws your attention very quickly. That is the limit of your vision. What is exactly in between? What is the color exactly in between? G, exactly, green. That's why I have not seen so far any human being who goes to Ooty and Kodaikanal and say, so boring, everything is green. Nobody ever says. They travel all the way to see green only. And if you're tired reading so long, just go out and look at the green grass and green trees, your eyes feel relaxed. Because that is the frequency which does not strain your eyes at all. Light green, light gray, light cream, these are the colors they have recommended for teachers. I'm not advising anything, but I'm telling you, this is the research. Don't use bright colors in the classroom. Students, don't forget your dress sense. I go to teach in different universities outside India. 2 years ago, I was in US, and being a teacher for so long, our students come to know that I am there. Thanks to this WhatsApp and what is that? Another one? Facebook. People ask me, what is your Facebook account? I tell them I have a face and I read books. I don't have Facebook account. But somehow your students have it. One person comes to know that you are there, they send short circuit message to everybody, and one girl who is now settled there as a chartered accountant, she wanted to meet me. She drove 100 miles with her husband and children and met me. As we were talking, suddenly she asked me, "Sir, the accountancy teacher is still there in the college, sir?" I said, "Does he not have a name?" I asked her. "He has the name, but I don't remember the name, sir." You remember he was coming with a tight shirt? I said, "If he was wearing tight shirt, what is your problem? Why do you remember his tight shirt?" She told me, "Now I'll tell you, sir. When I was a principal, they were not so comfortable to come and talk to me. Some scare is there about principals. Don't feel bad, ma'am. You are all principals. But principals are scarecrows. They become scarecrow thanks to all of you. You all do that same thing, no? Tell the student, if you do something like this, I'll send you to principal. As if principal chamber is Andaman and Nicobar. Am I right? So, they were a little scared of talking to me when I was the principal of the college. But now there is no restriction now. They are a little more free. The girl said, "I'll tell you, sir, why I remember his shirt." She was sitting in the last bench all the while. And these accountancy teachers have to write lot on the board, like our maths teachers. You write lot on the board, you know. And he was I don't know why he was wearing that, I don't know. He had typical black and white checks, black and red checks, terrible. And then tight shirt, he would go to write on the board. Every time he went to write something on the board, this girl would take a bet with the neighboring girl, today the shirt would tear here. But the shirt never tore. Maybe he went to a good tailor, nothing happened. Since she was taking bet with the neighboring child almost every day about this tearing of the shirt, now they remember his shirt more than his accountancy. It has happened to you also. Remember, when you meet your classmate 20 years later, if you studied in the same school together, you talk about the teacher, about the dress, about the language. Am I right? You remember some teachers because of the dress. Some teachers you remember because of the language. Yes or no? Don't you remember some of your teachers because of the language? Funny language, good language, nice language. Am I right? People talk very well in the classroom, you like them. Some of you got impressed by the language and became language teachers. Some of you are impressed by your teachers. I remember, you use your language appropriately. That's more important, Baba. It's not good to have only good language, but you should know how to talk to students in the classroom. When I was a principal, I was in UK for some time. I met a lady there, a Bengali lady, fantastic. She did PhD with William Golding. I don't know how you have heard of William Golding. William Golding is a Nobel laureate in English. She did PhD with him. And she said, "I'm coming back to Bangalore, sir. I'm going to settle in Bangalore. I don't want to miss this opportunity." I said, "Come, work as a professor in my college." She agreed. And I was so happy. It was like winning a Nobel Prize myself, having a teacher like this in the college. Her English was superb. Extraordinary English. Extraordinary. And I appointed one more person, young fellow, from Mysore University, second class. He knows Kannada, English, Sanskrit, something like that. I took him also. And I was so proud of her as a great teacher. One day, I was walking in the corridor as the principal. Suddenly, I heard her voice. I just knocked the door, and class was getting over. She went out. The students stood up. I said, "Sit down. How are the classes?" I asked them. "Very nice, sir. Very nice, sir." "How are English classes?" One girl stood up and told me, "Sir, what language ma'am has, sir. Fantastic language, sir. Whatever she speaks is sheer poetry, sir. Words flow out of her lips so easily, so beautifully, sir. excellent language, sir. But none of us understands. None of us understands. Now what happened now? And I asked this lady, how are the classes? She said, poor creatures. Don't appreciate good English. I said, Amma, they are creatures, all right, but you are appointed to teach them only. Am I right? You should talk in a language understandable to them. If you're talking such a rich vocabulary which flows over their head, it's of no use at all. The second lecturer became a famous lecturer, very popular because whatever he spoke, they understood. He understood. For example, Dr. Kalam. You remember his English style? Typical Tamil English. In fact, I had a chance of being with him for 15 years. I knew him very well. And every time he came to Karnataka, I had to translate him into Kannada. I told him, I'm not a Kannada professor, Baba. I can get a Kannada professor. He said, no, you understand me, I understand. He's okay. And we traveled together plenty of places. When you travel together for a long time, you get some familiarity, and gives you a little comfort in talking to each other. I told him, sir, do you realize that you make a lot of mistakes while speaking English? If you listen to his talks, a lot of grammatical mistakes he would make. Do you realize that you make a lot of mistakes in speaking English, sir? He looked at me and said, yeah, but they understand, no. That's fine. He said, I don't mind making mistakes. If they understand, what is my problem? And secondly, I told him, sir, your accent is sometimes worrying. The way you call every Indian, have you heard of talking about it? Every Indian. I told him, sir, a professor of Oxford will hang himself 3 times a day, sir. He said, let him hang 4 times a day. I've got to speak like this only because that is the only way my people understand me. You understand what I'm saying? That is the beauty of communication. He said, how I pronounce is not important. My pronunciation is understandable to them. That is more important. Purpose of speaking is to be understood. Therefore, students, some of you remember your teachers because of the language. Good language and bad language. If you speak good language, students remember that. I had a teacher when I was in 9th standard called Varadaraj Huilgold. Varadaraj Huilgold. Have you heard of Narayana Huilgold? Who wrote the Udayavagali Namma Chaluva Kannada Nadu. His brother's son was our Kannada teacher. Fantastic teacher. He used to come and teach us so well. With a peculiar man. Peculiar man. He would always have his spectacle here. I don't know why. Eyes were here only. The spectacles should be here all the time. He would come into the class and we had one verse. I don't know how many of you heard of Kumarvyasa Bharata. Kumarvyasa, Mahabharata written by Kumarvyasa. That one episode was there for our text. Situation is very simple. Dharmaraja played dice. I don't have to tell the story of Mahabharata, you know it. He played dice and lost his kingdom, lost his army, lost his riches, lost his brothers, and finally lost his wife also. Now this Karna, the villain of the highest order, he tells Duryodhana, now that he is a dasi for you, she is a slave for you, drag her into the court and insult her, because she is a dasi, need not be respected. And Duryodhana says yes, and sends his brother Dushasana to drag her. In Indian culture, brother-in-law is like son. But this idiot son, brother-in-law, goes there and drags her into the darbar, and the ladies find so many people in the darbar, Bhishma, Drona, Ashwathama, Kripacharya, all senior people, and her father-in-law and mother-in-law, both blind inside and outside. They were sitting there. She pleads to everyone, kindly save me, kindly save me. Nobody is willing to save. And 5 husbands, one more powerful than the other, extraordinary talented 5 people are putting their head down and declaring that we can't save you. And finally what the lady does? She seeks the blessings of God. She prays Krishna. And there were 8 verses of that Mahabharata for us for text. And Huilgold sir will come into the class, as usual spectacle here. He would not bring the textbook. He did not need a textbook, because he knew the whole book by heart. A book was only for mortals like us. We were holding the books like this, and he would start teaching. He would recite that poem so beautifully. Can you please visualize the classroom? There are 3 rows of benches. He would slowly walk through the benches like this, reciting the poem. And every time he recited the poem, the tears would roll down his cheek. He would cry. And we all cried. And we used to say, if anybody in the world understood the grief of Draupadi, it was only Huilgol sir and nobody else. And then we were all so much moved when we went out of the class, our eyes were swollen like this. Other teachers would ask, oh, you had Huilgol class, huh? Because from eyes only they could make out it was Huilgol class. So emotionally packed. And he would recite the poem so well, and we hold the book in our hand and go on looking at him wherever he went like a radar. We'll see him. And one day I remember that he was reciting one verse in which Draupadi says, Krishna, even if a snake comes into a group of 100 people, it will survive. Because out of 100 people, at least one would say, don't kill the snake, allow it to go. At least one would save the snake. But in this darbar of so-called august people, nice people, cultured people, a lady is helpless and nobody is willing to help. Is it worse than a common gathering? Lord, only you should help me. And Dwaralidalu Lalitangi, he would say with so much of grief in his voice, and beautifully said it. I was sitting on the first place on the third bench. I was so emotionally choked, I could not control myself. I just sobbed. I said it. He was looking somewhere. Moment he heard that sobbing sound, he turned back and looked into my eyes. When he looked into my eyes, my frosty eyes were locked in his moist eyes for all times to come. Completely locked. I could not take my eyes off. But believe me, most important thing happened at that time. At that time, I was not in the classroom at all emotionally. I was in the darbar of Duryodhana, darbar of Dhritarashtra. The first row seat that all big people had, Bhishma, Drona, Ashwatthama, Kripacharya had, I also had a seat. And most important is, my heart had melted and none of these idiots' hearts had melted. I was telling Duryodhana, don't do that, don't do that. You'll be killed, destroyed by your family. Don't do that, leave her. I wanted to say that. This is the power of language, my friends. Language of friends. The language is only to be heard. The spoken language is to be heard. But speak so powerfully, it not only becomes a audible media, it becomes a visual media. Is it not right? When you start, somebody tells you a nice story, you start seeing it. You start seeing it. You don't even hear it. When you hear a lovely story told by somebody, don't you cry? Why? Because you're seeing the image there. This is the power of a language. Some teachers had that gift. Some of your teachers must have had that. Powerful speakers. And you decided, if I become a teacher, I would speak like that. There were some more teachers whose language was terribly bad. And you made jokes about it. Am I right? So many jokes. Why are you understanding? Come up. You know, very famous one. Very famous old joke. The teacher was standing on the platform and found the student standing down there. He wanted him to come up. He told him, why are you understanding? Come up. You know, this is very common. In fact, 25 years ago, my son was studying in a famous college in Bangalore. I'll not mention the name. Very famous college. One day he was studying for PUC. One day he came and told me, Appa, my chemistry teacher, English is very bad. I said, what's the problem? Her English is so bad, Appa. She goes on making so many mistakes. Whether she really spoke bad or these fellows cooked up, I do not know. What happened? I asked him. One day there was a practical. The boys were supposed to heat a substance in a silica crucible. After heating, the teacher wanted to tell them, don't weigh the crucible when it is hot. Open the lid, allow it to cool. When it is completely cool, wait. That's what she wanted to say. Maybe her language was not very adequate. It seems she said, open the door of crucible and allow the environment to come in. Open the door of the crucible and allow environment to come in. This fellow came and made a joke. But believe me now, even 25 years after he finished his PUC, when he comes to India and meets some of his friends studying in the same school, they ask, oh, door of the crucible is still there in the school? Her name has become door of the crucible now. Please remember, there are always nicknames given to the teachers. Students which have given you some nicknames to you also. Sometimes you pretend not to know, or we don't know. Better to know that how students call us. The reason is, it gives you chance for improvement. I had gone to a very famous women's college in Bangalore. I'll not mention the name again. Very famous women's college. Every year I go there to give one lecture in the beginning of the academic year. 150 to 160 teachers. And we, both principal, myself, started moving from the principal chamber and started going towards the auditorium. Huge auditorium. About 10 steps we had come from the principal chamber. She said, "1 second, sir, please stay. I'll bring my diary." She went back into her room to bring the diary. Now I am stuck alone in the corridor. I'm looking at the lovely garden outside. Lovely garden outside. At that time, one girl ran behind me. I thought this child will fall down, the way she ran. And she entered into a classroom. She is the class representative. You got class representatives? What is the job of the class representative? She waits after the bell for 5 minutes for the teacher to come. If the teacher does not come, what will the child do? Go to the staff room and find out whether the teacher is coming or not. If the teacher is not coming, she will go and announce to the class that you are not coming. The way the children announce your absence to the class indicates your popularity. The way indicate that you are not coming, it indicates your popularity. This girl ran behind me, entered into a class, jumped on the platform there and shouted loudly. Loud enough for me to hear outside. She shouted, "Girls, today Borwell is on leave." Today Borwell is on leave. I thought there may not be water in the campus. But the way the remaining girls responded to her was fantastic. They all cheered and loudly shouted, "Great, Borwell is on leave." Then I understood who was Borwell. The teacher who had not come to the college on that day. Remember what a certificate the students had given her. How much she must have bored the students to get the designation Borwell. Is it not right? So please remember that we may also have some name like that. It's better to know that what kind of name that we have. So students, remember your dress. Students, remember your language. Students also remember your classroom management. How your classroom was. Go back to your childhood and see there were so many teachers. Some classes they really enjoyed because teacher was not bothered what happens in the class. Is it not right? You are shouting and dancing and teacher was teaching to the board and board was teaching him and others were not in the picture at all. And there was also another teacher who did not allow you to turn your head this way and that way. Look here. Why are you looking there? Very strict teacher. Have you seen some people, in fact Hitler could learn from them. So tight in the class. He would say, "Look here, don't look there, look here. What are you doing? Small mistake, get up, get out of the class." Am I right? You have seen some teachers like that. Some teachers have been advised by the senior teachers, be strict in the class. Otherwise, students will sit on your head as if head is a free bench for anybody to come and sit. All nonsense. Simply say, "Don't hold the class tightly." Holding the class too tightly is bad and holding the class loosely is also bad. I'll tell you an interesting story of a great Sufi saint. I like Sufi saints so much. I have written so much about Sufism. There was a Sufi saint called Sarmast. Sarmast. He was a teacher in a school. A nice teacher, a good teacher. One day it so happened, he was teaching nicely. All the students were looking at him only. Suddenly they all started looking out of the window. Like a typical teacher, "Why are you looking out? Look here." They turned this side. Again a minute later they turned out. Again he shouted, "Hey, why are you looking out? See here." He turned here. 3-4 times this swinging of the head happened. Then he thought something must be happening outside. He went and opened the door and saw a beautiful thing happening on the road. How can children miss it? What was happening on the road in front of the school? A farmer was pulling a bull towards his house. Farmer was pulling the bull towards his house. Bull was refusing to come. Bull was pulling the farmer this side. Farmer was pulling the bull this side. Tug of war between them. How can children miss a lovely sight like this? He said, "Come on children, all of you come out and sit and watch." All children happily came and sat outside. He went and asked the farmer, "What is happening?" The farmer said, "My own bull, sir, but refusing to come home. I am pulling it." He said, "Wait a minute." Sarmast went to the edge of the road. There was such a lovely green grass grown. He took a handful of green grass, removed the soil on that, and showed the grass to the bull. Bull started following. He gave this green grass to the farmer and told him, Don't give him the grass, just show. Don't give the grass, he will ask for some more. Just show the grass and walk fast and take him home. He showed, and the bull started following, and the farmer took the bull home. And then Sarmast took the children in the class, and class continued. Sarmast had no problem, students had no problem. But the teacher in the next classroom had a problem. He went and complained to the headmaster. What is this Sarmast, sir? Huh? Horrible. A bull comes on the road, he takes the children out. A farmer comes, he takes the children out. He is not teaching properly. Lot of disturbance in the class. Headmaster called Sarmast and asked him, what is happening in your class? Sarmast told, whatever was happening outside was happening in the class also, sir. You understand? Whatever was happening outside the classroom was happening inside. What was happening outside? The bull was pulling in one direction and the farmer was pulling in the other direction. Same thing, the scenery was pulling the students out and I was pulling on this side. What did he do finally? Whatever I did outside, I did here also, sir. What did it there? Bull wanted grass, I gave the grass. Children wanted to see the sight, I showed them and brought back. Issue is over. Children are fresh now. Please remember, that is creative teaching. When you want to teach in the class, too much of rigid discipline is bad and too much of chaos is bad. The class should be flexible enough for learning to happen and not too flexible to be chaotic. You have seen some teachers are so chaotic in the class. Children are shouting at the pitch of their voice. The teacher takes the duster and goes on hammering on the table. Silence, silence. That itself is a big noise. Is it not right? Terrible. Therefore, you remember some teachers who had a lovely classroom management. You want to become a teacher, you said, I would like to handle the class like him or her. Is it not right? You learn that way. And some teachers are remembered not only for classroom management, for their kindness. They are so affectionate. They may not be great teachers. Am I right? They may not have taught the subject well. But you remember their affection so much. They come and ask you, you were not well yesterday? Did not come to class? What happened? Any help you want? Maybe if you are not well for 3-4 days, the teacher would have come to your house to check up what is happening to you. They were so affectionate to you. You remember teachers because of their affection. Some teacher because of their kindness, love and affection, support they gave you. When you were a child there, you did not know that you are a leader. You are scared of talking. But one teacher made a leader out of you. When I was in school, it's a very famous school in Harvard called K. Boards High School. I was a student of that school. I had a teacher called Nadiger, head principal Nadiger. He's a very short-tempered man, very short. We were all scared of him. Then the respect came. First scare and then respect. One day he sent word from a class. I remember I was in 9th standard. And when I got a call, I started wondering, what did I do? Because when the principal sends word, normally the attitude of the student is, principal is calling you. Hurray, what happened? What did I do? Principal may be calling you to appreciate, but you don't remember first. I just went there, scare written all over my face. He was writing something. Come here, he told me. I went close to him. 10 days later, there is going to be an inter-school lecture competition, and you are going to represent our school. This is the topic. Go and prepare yourself. Take the help of your class teacher. That's all. No discussion there. He will tell you what is to be done. Go. He told me. I was so scared. I had to talk in front of so many school students. I was scared. I told him, sir. He got up. What's the problem? He asked me. I said, no problem, sir. I'm scared of talking, sir. He just came. As I was talking, he came and stood before me. And then I told him, sir, there are better students than me, sir, who can speak well. I had not completed the sentence. His left hand went up. Patar! He slapped on my right cheek. Before I could realize what was happening to me, lightning get stuck. I was so scared. I was so scared I could not speak further. He said, go prepare yourself. Don't give me excuses. I was wondering why this terrorist is attacking me. I have not done anything to him. He calls me from the classroom and shouts at me and beats me and says, go and prepare for the class. I didn't want to do anything. I went back home. Those were the days, my friends. You will realize no child went home and told the parent that I was beaten by the teacher. You know why? The parents had so much faith in teachers at that time. If I went and told my sister or my grandfather that my headmaster beat me, it's a good thing. You must have done something stupid. Am I right? Today, like today's parents, they won't come to headmaster and, hey, why did you beat my son? This is different. But then I was scared. I went back home and told my sister that this is what happened. She said, good, learn properly. What lesson you want to do, essay you want to prepare, you want lecture you want to give, write down the lecture. I prepared and went and practiced before my class teacher. Then again the principal said, let him come and speak before me. There was one process we had. There is a final censor certificate. Only when the principal said, okay, we are eligible to go ahead and speak. I went and stood behind him, I stood in front of him and started speaking. A rehearsal has to happen. Look, I had written my speech. It was before me and I was speaking. That man was closing his eyes and listening to me. He shouted, stupid, there is a comma there. Text is in my hand. He sees a comma. That means he said, I understood the meaning of comma on that day. Comma means pause. Don't run so fast. Voice modulation. Are you speaking or are you lecturing? Are you a news reader? He asked me. I said, no, sir. Then why are you reading like a news? Put your emotions behind it. Speak properly. Voice modulation, where is it? He taught me so beautifully in 10 minutes and go rehearse once again. I went to the competition. God's blessings, I got the first prize. I don't know how. We got the first prize. And a big cup was given. I brought it back to the school. And we had a peculiar function. I think you do in the school also. Whenever any child wins any prize, we bring him on the assembly. I was called on the assembly platform. Principal was there. Thousands of boys and girls were standing there. And I was called on the stage and said, this boy gave good name to the school by getting the first prize in the competition. That was so nice for me to hear. Am I right? Don't you feel very happy when you're appreciated in front of your classroom? That was all nice at that time. I said, very nice. Yes, he patted my back and said, good, well done, well done. If he had stopped at that time, I would have been very happy. He didn't stop. He suddenly put his hand on my right cheek and said, is it paining? That means the whole school knows that I slapped. What a terrible thing, telling me that I got a first prize and telling you I slapped you. Then he immediately said, do you know why I did that? I knew that you are a good speaker, but you are scared of doing it. I wanted to take out the fear from your mind. Now every time I go and speak before public, I remember my teacher, headmaster, and say, thank you, sir. Because he made you a speaker that you are today. Is it not right? It has happened to you a number of times. A teacher could bring out the best of you without your knowledge. You did not know that you had this talent and teacher brought you out. You remember such teachers. Please remember, some teachers are remembered for the absolutely unaddressed love that is shown to you. I'll share an incident with you, my friends. I'm going to talk through anecdotes because they remain in your mind for a long time. This is something beautiful. I have written about it. It is very popular. I don't know, it has gone into some kind of YouTube, YTube, WenTube. It goes on there. My grandfather was my role model all the time. He was an outstanding human being. He came from absolute poverty, became a primary school teacher, remained primary school teacher for 40 years. He was not just a teacher, he was a social reformer. Such a great man. He not only taught in the school, but also propagated how to maintain hygiene in the village, how not to use this water for washing buffaloes and all that. It should be only for drinking. He would put potassium permanganate there and clean it. And somebody suffered from any disease, he was the first one to go. And he popularized post office also. In his coat, he would carry inland letters, postcard, and tell them, please write letters. Villagers would ask, if I write here, how would it go there? Come on, write, I'll write for you. He will write letters for them, get the letters, and read it for them. He was a very great man. In fact, we still have a big silver medal in our house, sent by the Queen of England at that time to him as a great social reformer. He was such a great man. To meet him, Dr. Dara Bendra used to come to our house in Dharwad. Such a great man. He was my role model. He was a primary school retired. By the time I started understanding, he had already retired. We were in Dharwad. Please don't forget this incident. It's a very powerful incident. We can pass it on to anybody. We were in Dharwad. It was in 1961-62. China attacked India. And for the first time, the ration system came into India. Rationing. First time. kerosene, rice and sugar. These three had to be taken on a card, ration card. And there was a rule in Karnataka that you can't take these three materials from one district to another district. It's called district ban. We are not allowed to take. We were in Dharwad. One day, my grandfather received a letter from Bijapur saying that one of our distant relatives, the lady had delivered, and good rice was not available in Bijapur at that time. Dharwad has good rice. They said, can you bring 4 kilograms of rice for that lady? My grandfather knew that as a rule we are not permitted to take. But the affection is something different. And he was not a smuggler in making money out of it. He decided, I'll take some 4 kilograms. Those days we did not have suitcases and Samsonite bags at that time. We had holdalls. He spread a small carpet. He put some dress in that. And in a small bag, he took about 4 kilograms of rice, packed it, and rolled it and tied with rope. It was a holdall. And he took the holdall, and he took me also to Bijapur. We went by train. It's a vacation time. I enjoyed traveling. And when Bijapur came, we got down on the railway platform. Visualize, typical kache dhoti, shirt and coat and cap for my grandfather. He was holding the holdall on the left shoulder, holding me with his right hand. In essence, both luggages only. Both are luggages only. Little fellow and suitcase, holdall, both are luggages only. He was dragging me, come fast, come fast. He was dragging me. Why was he in a great hurry? He wanted to get out of the railway station. If a policeman catches him there, he would be in for punishment. He was so scared. He was dragging me. We were just little away from the main gate, exit gate. Suddenly somebody kept a hand on my grandfather's shoulder. He turned back and saw there was a policeman. Policeman said, boss is waiting for you, come. This policeman was enough to scare us. And there's a boss waiting for us. And he pointed towards the station master's room. We went to the station master's room and found there was no policeman. My grandfather was happy. Nobody is there, we'll go. We'll go. The station master shouted, where are you going? Huh? Police officer has kept his jeep here. You should go in the jeep and meet him. My grandfather was about to cry. He started sweating like a wet towel and said, I think I am arrested now. He was more worried about me. If I am arrested, how will you go home? I said, I didn't know. I had no idea what is to be done. And then those days, my friends, I should tell you, going by the police jeep was the most insulting thing ever. If the police jeep stands in front of your house, it means you have done something very serious offense. You will be in jail. Now, my grandfather was such a social reformer and a big name. And going by the police jeep was insulting. He started worrying, about to cry and said, I made a mistake of bringing rice. I should not have brought it. I was enjoying the scene actually. Going by jeep for a small child was excellent. We sat in the jeep and that luggage was also there. Holdall was also there. And jeep went and deep into the village and finally stood in front of a big house. For me, it was a palace at that time. It was the house of a superintendent of police, SP. Even today, SP is a big position, head of the whole district. Those days, he was like a governor. We got down and the luggage he had to carry, you can't leave it, And he took it inside. We sat in the sit out there. My grandfather was constantly muttering to himself, I think I made a mistake. I'll be in jail. I think government will slap me, put me in the jail. What will happen to you? And after some time, one constable came from inside the house and said, come, boss is calling you. They are like that only. Even if they want to call you for the house for lunch also, they'll call that way only. Come inside, boss is calling you. And my grandfather got up, left the luggage there, entered into a hall. It's a beautiful hall, fully decorated. There were sofa sets here and there. There were 3 constables standing there. In the center, there was a big black man with a big mustache. Next to him was a young lady. My grandfather assumed that he must be the officer. He has done a mistake, He went with his hands folded. Went inside and said, I'm sorry, sir, I made a mistake. I'm sorry, sir, I made a mistake. He was folding his hand like this. And that boss was standing there next to the lady, stepped one step forward and stretched himself on the floor and fell at the feet of my grandfather, touched his feet. My grandfather was scared. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? He's asking. The constables are saying, boss, boss, boss. They had seen so many times before people falling at the feet of the boss, but they had never seen boss falling at the feet of somebody else. My grandfather said, please get up, sir. Please get up, sir. That man stood up. He was also folding the hand like this. And he was tears rolling down his cheek. He asked me, sir, you recognize me, sir? My grandfather said, no, sir, I don't recognize. I am Bhima, sir. Which Bhima? My grandfather asked, is there anybody from Dharwad here? Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, there, Dharwad. Because what I am saying is, we are specialists in destroying names. We name him as Bhima, but never call Bhima. Bhimya. Call him Rama, call him Ramya. Destroy the names beyond repair. And this man politely said, I am Bhima, sir. My grandfather looked puzzled. Bhima, which Bhima? Then that man could recognize this, he did not understand. Sir, me, sir. Murgod Bhimya, sir. I was with you in Mudwad, no, sir. Immediately, my grandfather was holding the hand like this, The right hand came down. In a flash, he took it up and slapped on the cheek of this man and said, idiot, you have become a policeman. I was scared. He was a 6 feet plus man. My grandfather slapped him. If he had given a return slap, what would have happened to my grandfather? I was so scared. But nothing happened. On the contrary, he started sobbing more. He said, sir, beat me, sir. It's because of you I'm like this here today, sir. And sobbingly he told his wife, we were untouchables in the village. My father used to sweep this village roads. And after 4th standard, my father decided I should not study. I should also go to street cleaning. I would get 50 paisa per day. My father told me, come Bhimya, you also clean. You get 8 annas every day. But you came to my house and fought with my father and told him, don't take this child away from the school. He's an intelligent boy. Keep him here. And you kept me in your house for 3 years, sir. Gave me food and taught me for 3 years. After 7, there was no school in that village. You took me to Bijapur, admitted me to the school and the hostel and paid the fees for the hostel. Remember, sir? If you had not done that at that time, I would be still sweeping the roads of Mulwad. Sir, if at all I am something today, it is because of you, sir. And told his wife, you do puja every day, worship some god or the other. He is my God. Touch his feet. Both of them bent down and touched my grandfather's feet. When he got up, my grandfather hugged him. It was a sight for gods to see. I was witness to it. On one side, there was a grateful student. On the other side, there was a gratified teacher. This is something fantastic I saw. My grandfather had met this Bhima, Superintendent of Police, 30 years after he had met him last time. Please remember, my friend, sometimes when your teachers teaching at the lower class, you say, "Ayyo, what is the point in teaching? By the time they grow up, I would have retired." Don't ever feel that. Any good seed sown anywhere will always give a good fruit. A good mango seed will never produce a neem tree. It always produces a mango tree only. Talk nicely. Give good feelings, good encouraging words to the child at that time. My grandfather asked this Bhima, "You fellow, you saw me in the railway station?" He said, "Yes, sir." "Then why did you not talk to me there only? For 1 hour I have boiled inside. I have almost killed myself. Why is police after me? Why did you not talk to me in the railway station?" Look at the level at which he had kept my grandfather. He said, I saw you there, sir, but how can I talk to you? I was in the uniform. I was wearing shoes. With the shoes in my feet, how can I touch your feet, sir? I came back home and took a bath. I wanted you to touch your feet with that cleanliness. This is the kind of feeling the teacher had, student had for the teacher. That to me is the greatest certificate for a teacher. Is it not right? Someday we should try to be like a teacher who makes an impression on the child, who remembers you 30 years from now. Many teachers sometimes are negative. Not many teachers are negative, thankfully. But some teachers are negative. "Ayya, what's the problem, sir? Teaching the same thing year after year, year after year, year after year." That's absolute nonsense. You may be teaching the same subject, but not to the same student. Is it not right? Every year you've got a new set of students. Please believe me, every next batch of students is more intelligent than the previous batch. Every year, technology is changing so much, students are much more brighter. They are more challenging to you now. They were not so challenging earlier. Is it not right? And secondly, most important, please remember, whatever you do today, every job has its own advantages. If you are working in the electricity board, there is no meter for your house. We can use any amount of electricity. Or if you are working in a bus transport, you have got a free pass. Railway, you have got a free pass. Everywhere there is some concession. What is the concession teachers have? People say nothing. Teachers have nothing. I said, don't say that. We have the biggest benefit. Imagine you are 55, 56, or just retired. You are walking on the market, on the footpath, carrying your vegetable basket. Suddenly a big car comes and stops on the road. Oh my God, such a big car. Who is this fellow? One fellow gets down from the car. Big fellow comes and touches your feet and says, ma'am, recognize me. I was a student in 6th standard. You are my class teacher. You don't recognize him. How do you recognize such a big giant? And finally ask him, what are you? What are you doing now? He says, I'm the governor of Uttar Pradesh. How do you find? This can happen only to a teacher and nobody else, my friends. Please believe me, it can never happen to anybody. It has happened to me several times. Sometimes I feel emotional about it. You have heard of the famous university called University of California at Berkeley, one of the top universities in the world today, one of the top 4 universities. I had a class there, session in education department. I finished and came out, and suddenly I found a lady sitting there. Face appeared familiar. It happens to you. After many years, you may forget the name, but the face appeared familiar. She came in typical Karnataka style. Namaste, sir, she told me. If somebody says Namaste in America, you feel more happy. Not so here, but there you feel more happy. I said, Namaste. She said, recognize me, sir? I said, I don't recognize. I am Prema, sir. Prema. Because Prema is a very common name. So many names are there. And I taught for about, how many years? 25 years in a college. So I said, Prema, where are you? What are you doing now? She said, sir, I was in this batch. Oh, suddenly, for us, there's a clue required. Does it not happen to you? When old students come back to you, you ask a very simple question. Which batch? What do you mean by which batch? You don't remember the year. You mean which batch means who is the most mischievous boy in your class or who is the most intelligent person in your class. You identify the student because of that. And suddenly it floods into you. Suddenly I said, yes, Prema, where is Suma now? Because Prema and Suma were identical twins. They had bothered me for 3 years continuously. Nobody had bothered me so much as them. See, in admission for my college was very difficult. It was impossible to get admission in my college. I had about 80 seats and I had about 500 applications. We'd announce the list on the merit. Cutoff was 87%. That is okay. It was a terrible time for a principal. I was sitting there. One day, an old man came with the daughter. I admitted her because the marks was about 90%. Admitted her. In the evening, as I was about to go home, I came out of my chamber. Again, I saw the same gentleman with the same girl standing there. I thought, admission not done? Sir, she hasn't got admission, sir. She started crying. Morning, I admitted her. The girl started crying now. Sir, no, sir, I haven't got admission. Morning you came, no? No, sir, you gave admission to my sister, sir, not to me. Baba, your sister also is there? Yes, sir. Her name is Prema, sir. What is your name? Suma, sir. Then the father told me these are identical twins. They studied from LKG together. Suma always got 50% marks. Prema always got high marks. She has got admission in my college. She hasn't got. Sir, please, sir, let them study together, sir. I said, bring both of them tomorrow. Because I wanted to see how identical they were. And next day, both of them came to the chamber. And just to deceive me probably, they were identically dressed also. Same color. Looking like Sita or Gita. I looked at them and I said, who is one who got admission? Me, sir. Go this side. Come and stand this side. You are Prema, right? Prema, sit here, hand here only. And then I said, you are Suma. I'll admit you, but study hard, do well. Okay, sir. At that time, everybody will say, okay, sir, only. They may not follow later on. That is different. I admitted her, and next 3 years I suffered. I admitted a degree class, and 3 years I suffered. I have a particular style. When I go in the corridor, I first say, good morning. My nature is that. When this child said, good morning, Prema. She said, I am not Prema, sir. I am Suma, sir. 3 years I could not distinguish who was Prema and who was Suma. Maybe I did not identify them or they fooled me, I don't know. Here also, moment I say Prema, I remembered the twin, Suma. Where is Suma now? Sir, she is in Canada, sir. What are you doing here? I am a professor in the Department of Chemistry. You should come with me, sir. I said, no child, I got somewhere else to go. She said, sir, you have to come. She pulled me by my hand and took me to the Department of Chemistry, which I never taught in that university. I never done research also in that university. There were about 60, 70 professors of different nationalities sitting there. This lady goes and tells, my friends, I was telling you about my teacher because of whom I am here. He is my teacher. I felt like crying. And then she told me, you remember the day, sir? I was standing there on these steps. You came down and said, why, Prema? Looking dull? I said, I can't understand the second law of thermodynamics, sir. Come. You took me to your chamber and taught me separately thermodynamics principles. I remembered it, sir. I loved it. I did my MSc chemistry. I did my PhD in chemistry. Came to Purdue University, did another PhD here. Now I'm married to a person in San Francisco. I'm working in this university for the last 4 years as a professor. I told, I feel so happy. And she told me, you were that 5-minute talk on that day talking about thermodynamics brought me from Bangalore to California, sir. It has happened to you also, my friends. It will happen to you. This is the biggest benefit the teachers have. One word of encouragement that we give now will take the students to different platform altogether. That is an advantage that we have. I just try to recapitulate what we have done so far. This is what we did. I call this as the spectrum of teachers. The spectrum of teachers, remember we started visualizing, thinking of all the teachers who taught us. And how many teachers we remembered? We found that large number of names are lost in the hazy cloud of memory. We don't remember them. Some are remembered for some reasons. This I call the spectrum of teachers. On one side, most of the names are forgotten. On the other side, what happens? Let us see. Recall the names of all the teachers who taught you. We did it. Then we found that do not remember many. Some faces are very hazy. Yeah, I think he taught me, but I don't remember which subject. Some faces are very hazy. Some are remembered for different reasons. I told you, some are remembered for dress, for language, classroom management, or your affection, kindness. They are remembered for various reasons. A few have made an impression on you. How did you come at your teaching style? The teaching style that you have now, how did you come to this teaching style? I can tell you certainly not from your B.Ed program. It came from, you have seen so many teachers in your life, you remember the dress of one teacher, the board work of another teacher, classroom discipline of another teacher, voice modulation of another teacher. You combined all of them, made your own teaching style. Am I right? Your teaching style is a hybrid of the teaching styles of your teachers. Some people made an impression on you, but we owe your success to only 1 or 2 teachers. Am I right? We did 2 parts of the exercise now. First exercise was remembering all the teachers. Second is writing down the names of teachers you know. Agreed? Now we go to the third exercise. The list you have now, keep it with you. Keep before you the list of teachers you have written. This time I am not going to give you 3 minutes time. I will give you only 10 seconds. 10 seconds. Keep the list ready and also your pen ready. Are you ready? Keep the list that you wrote and also your pen ready. I will give you exactly 10 seconds for you. What you should do is go through the list and mark one name whom you call your favorite teacher or the best teacher. One name. Actually, you would have marked it already by now. You don't require 10 seconds. You don't require 5 seconds also. Am I right? Among the list of teachers you have written, you have to identify one teacher whom you like most. The pen directly goes there and marks it. You don't have to search for it. Am I right? That is your favorite teacher and the best teacher you had so far. I'll do a beautiful exercise now. I want some of you, because the number is large, about 3-4 people can tell me who was that teacher and what level he taught you or she taught you. 2 qualities you liked in the teacher, that's all. two qualities that you liked in the teacher. Not many. No big lectures. You have to mention the name of the teacher and two qualities that you liked in the teacher. Would you do that? Who would do it first? Can you pass on one mic also, sir? Yeah, please, ma'am. Please. One second. I can't hear. All of you, please note, very interesting. I'll write on the board some of the qualities she is mentioning. Just keywords. I don't write the sentences. The board is small. I'll write only the qualities. Yes, please.
When I was doing my degree in Mysore, sir, the surname was Divakar. He was teaching me political science.
Political science, okay.
He inspired me so much that because of him, I took political science MA I did my MA in political science.
Wonderful. Two qualities that you liked in him.
He was having, according to me, his knowledge was good, and he used to teach well, sir. The style of teaching.
One second, I'll write down. Content, okay. Good academic content.
The way of teaching,
yes.
Sir.
I call teaching style.
Teaching styles.
His style was so good that you remember it even now.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Anybody else, ma'am? Yeah, please pass it on. Here, yeah.
Yes, sir. This is about my biology teacher from 10th standard.
10th standard.
Brinda. Yeah, Madam Brinda.
How many years ago it happened, 10th standard?
It's all 25 years
25
back.
years. Please remember. I want you to remember this. She remembers the teacher who taught her 25 years ago.
Right.
Okay.
And the style of teaching was so different that she used to involve herself, especially teaching about the human system, like life process. Whenever she used to explain that, she used to involve herself in that in such a way that even we used to think, oh, our parts are here, our parts are there. Mm-hmm. So maybe she's very strict, but at the same time, she used to be friendly while teaching.
Shall I use a word? Strict but not harsh.
Right.
Right? Please remember.
So now, because of her only, I took up my biology as a subject.
Okay. Why I'm putting this one here is, many of us have a wrong notion that being strict is being harsh also. Some of us remain harsh, but we think we are strict. What is the difference between the two? Being harsh and being strict? Being strict is not a problem. Students do not dislike it. Being a strict is okay, but sometimes we are harsh and we believe that we are strict. Harsh insults, strictness corrects. And the student know, if I make a mistake, my teacher will not accept it, but she will appreciate me when I do right things. Am I right? That is strictness. Strictness leads to correction. Being harsh insults the core. It hurts you so much, therefore it doesn't allow you to progress. Very good. She was strict but not harsh. Her teaching style was unique. What else, ma'am?
Especially when it comes to human reproductive system, we used to just sit in the bench, just giggle at her while she used to explain. But now I see even our students do the same. But that's strictness during teaching. Once you go out of the class, you can come back to us and ask us anything. Very friendly.
She was a friend outside?
Yes.
Yeah, I would write that also. She was very friendly. She was very friendly. Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank
Yeah.
you. Anybody else can do that? Yeah.
Sir, sir, this is way long back, but I would like to share this. When I was in 5th standard, I had
Fifth standard?
Yes.
About 30
Sir,
years ago?
Yeah, more than 30, sir. I'm 50 now.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
nearing 50. So, I was in 5th standard, and my class teacher was one Radha teacher. She used to teach us maths. She was strict, very affectionate, as well as strict as...
Yes, correct. Yes, ma'am.
her way of teaching was so good, sir. My favorite subject became mathematics from then.
Okay.
And I had a fear of maths till then, but after her teaching, it became my favorite subject, sir.
Wonderful. Has it not happened to you, my friends? Some subject you found is so difficult. I don't know why they include this syllabus in the textbook. And then suddenly next year some other new teacher comes and the same subject becomes a most beautiful thing. That means please remember, no subject is good, no subject is bad. We make it good or bad. Is it not right? There are people who say maths is terrible, I can't take mathematics. But there are some students who say, I was taught maths by her, therefore I am liking mathematics. Therefore, subject is neutral. We make it good or bad depending on our way of handling it.
Yes.
Is it not right?
Yes,
Please, yes, beautiful. Anybody else, ma'am? Quickly. Because of the mic, it is more centralized on this area. Or I'll give my mic, no problem. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, he is Mr. Raj Gopal. He was our principal in our degree college.
Degree college?
Yes, sir.
Which college, ma'am?
Sir, it's government degree college for women in Chintamani.
Okay.
Mr. Raj Gopal. He was the first principal for the women's college, and he was very calm, sir. He was actually very short. We used to call him as Prince, actually, not the principal. And he was very friendly with everyone. But he never take us a class, and actually, he never give us a lecture. But when he used, when he comes, no, sir, we ourselves, we used to respect him. He was very down-to-earth person, actually.
But did he, when you say down-to-earth person,
He used
was
to
he?
speak to everyone, sir.
Yeah.
He used to
He-
speak
he-
to everyone in the corridor.
He did not differentiate people?
No, sir,
That's-
never.
that's what I wanted to say. Not to differentiate between students and students. Yes, good, very nice.
And he was the person who made me the class representative. Actually, I was opposing that. My father was opposing. So if you are class representative, you will be busy in some other works. You won't study at all. So he used to tell like that. My father used to tell like that. But the principal called my father and spoke to him. He made me the class representative for 3 years.
Shall I use this word as a motivator?
Yeah, sure,
He
sir.
motivated you to become a class teacher?
Yes.
Good, very nice. Yes. Give me this, I can be stuck. They can be given to them. Yeah. Yes, anybody else would like to say that quickly? This side has no opinion? Yeah, has. Mic is not available, that's all. Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
ಇವರು ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ತನೇ ತರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಭಾಷಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು ಸರ್. ಹೆಸರು ಬಂದರು ನಾರಾಯಣ್ ರೆಡ್ಡಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಪಿ ಟಿ ಎ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಬಂದು ಕೇಳ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು ಏನು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಳೆ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳು ಅಂತ. ಸರ್, ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಮ ತಂದೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾಯಿದ್ರು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟಾಗಿ ಓದೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾಳೆ ಆ ಥರ. ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇವ್ರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಓದ್ತಾಳೆ, ನಂಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಏನೋ ಅಚೀವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ತಂದೆಗಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ನಂಬಿದ್ರು ಸರ್. ಸೊ ಅದು ನಂಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ಅದರಿಂದನೇ ನಾನು ಭಾಷಾ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಅಮ್ಮ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾಯಿದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಅದು ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಟಚ್ ಆಗ್ತಾಯಿತ್ತು. ಈಗಲೂ ನೆನೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಐ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೈಯಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ತಂದೆ ಸ್ಥಾನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಸರ್.
Beautiful, very good, very good, very good. Very, very affectionate. Very good, affectionate, very great motivator. Yes, ma'am. Somebody else? Yes.
Sir, his name is K.N. Ranganatha Sharma, and he is my music teacher. Now he is the principal in the college, Sri Sadguru Sangeeta Samajam Madurai. And I like the way he explained the topic. Very nice, very fine, very quick. And the energy level, when he enters in the class, energy levels are always high, sir. That inspired me a lot.
This is most important. Some of us on the first period, you are all excited. Fifth period, we look like the soldiers of a lost war, go into the class. No, we have no business to look tired. Remember, we may be tired, but you have no business to look tired. You may be hungry, don't look hungry. You may be thirsty, but don't look thirsty. You may be scared, but don't look scared. Because the moment the leader is scared, the whole class is scared. The moment the teacher is nervous, the whole class is nervous. If the teacher has lost interest in teaching, the whole class will lose interest in learning. It can't happen. Very good, very nice. Anybody else, quickly? Give the mic there. Give some chance to the left-hand side. Okay. Yes, ma'am, no problem. Please do that, ma'am.
I want to speak about my madam, Shalam. Her name was Shalam. She was a social science teacher. And social science was an envious subject of mine before. When she started speaking and teaching the social science, she told us to assume the subject as if I am entering the history channel and geography channel. So she made us to enacting the teaching method also. So from that I am inspired. Now I have become a social science teacher.
Wonderful.
I really remember her now.
She
The
taught you
same
how to
method.
dramatize things.
Yes, yes.
Please remember, this is the most beautiful aspect of teaching. Some of us teach very great things in such a bad way. Some people teach very small thing in such a great way. It depends on how you feel about yourself. I've seen a teacher who said, India is a great country. The country of great diversities. I love my country. Does it look so? She looks as if, I tell you something interesting. You have heard of Peter Drucker? The great management guru of the world. I was a student in England. He was a great man. He was teaching us art of communication. Those days it was new. And today it is very common. I was the first one to bring it to India in 1980. We were there in 1974-75, and he was teaching us the art of communication. He would ask us to go on the stage. He will record on a video. You are supposed to speak for about 5 minutes. We have to record on a video. Then we'll sit there. He will play it on the screen. We have to go and stand there. He will dissect us. Why did you stand like that? Why is your posture like this? Why did you speak like that? Why is the voice modulation? My God, he would dissect us totally. And it was such a terrible experience to stand there in front of so many people and getting analyzed. And in our group, there was an Egyptian. The fellow was a little scared of going before Peter Drucker. Drucker was a tough master. And then when Drucker went out for some time, his assistant, not very kind, but not as harsh as Peter Drucker, this Egyptian thought he can finish his turn. Can I finish off my talking? He said, go. He went to speak. Unfortunately, Drucker came back. You can visualize. You want to avoid somebody, he comes there. And then he said, sir, can I speak in Urdu, sir? He asked him. Drucker said, you can speak in any language. I am not bothered what you speak. I am bothered of how you speak. And he started speaking. Drucker doesn't understand a word of Urdu. I was sitting next to him. He asked me slowly, you understand what his fellow is speaking? I said, I don't understand every word, but I can understand the context. He is talking about the silver jubilee of his marriage. He is talking about the silver jubilee of his marriage. That's all, that's all, that's all. For a great man, you don't require much tuition. And once this man was finished speaking, he came back and sat there. Go there, stand there. And then started playing it back. That man was so nervous, I tell you. It is so bad. I don't know, to see yourself on the screen is so different. Have you seen these IPL matches? The moment your face is flashed on the screen, suddenly they become monkeys. Till then they are all right. Because they had never seen themselves on a big screen like that. I ask a question to you. How many of you like your passport size photographs? Believe me, 95% people don't like their photograph on this one passport size photograph. They say, your photograph is so nice, mine is not good. Why do they say that, you know? You have an image of how you look. You think you look like that, but you don't look like that. That's why people go to portfolios. He shoots about 250 photographs. You choose, this is the best photograph. Why is the best photograph? You think you look like that. Am I right? And then keep the same photograph for next 50 years. Similarly, when you see yourself on the video, you say, oh my God, do I look like that? It first shocks you. That happens to you. But students are seeing you like this only. They have no option. They can't go to the portfolio and select you. They have to see you as you are. What can camera do? It records whatever is sitting in front of it. Is it not right? In whatever way. And he stand there, and a man like Peter Drucker correcting you is horrifying. And this man said, okay, you're talking about the silver jubilee of your marriage? That man was shocked. How does Drucker know about this? But then Drucker said beautifully, was it a silver jubilee? But it looked like a funeral speech. Was your marriage was success or a disaster? He said, success, sir. I'll show this video to your wife. It becomes a disaster now. You are saying my wife and all that, facing like this. Talk properly, man. You understand what I'm saying? When you talk in the class, my friends, you don't see how you look. Poor children see you. I'm telling you a little strong. When I became a principal at a very young age, I was 28 when I became the principal of a degree college. I brought this concept of video recording from Japan and asked my teachers, can we record your class? They said, why, sir? Why record? We are all, we are very conscious of somebody coming into our privacy. Some of our teachers go and bolt the door also from inside. And nobody is there. If any other teacher comes and sits in your class on the back side, you start feeling, principal must have asked her to come and sit in the class. Why are you worried if somebody comes and sits in the class? I was sharing with them the same thing. The Nobel laureate comes and sits in our class on the back side. We don't even know that he is a Nobel laureate. That is the openness of a great university. But here we are scared. I did that and initially only 4 people braved. Yeah, we'll do it, sir. They said, sir, with the videographer is there, class becomes artificial, sir. I said, forget it. Only camera will be there. Videographer will sit in the next room and record by remote. I said, fine. Those were the days when video tapes were there, not the CDs. I told them, I'll not edit it. As you came from the class, I'll give it to you. They were worried about, will other teachers see also? I said, no, don't worry. I'll give it to you directly. Go and take it home. Show it to your husband. If you can stand for 1 hour, he can watch it. And if there's any correction you want, I have been trained to do that. Next day, I will do it. Next day, my economics lecturer came and told me, sir, recording is bad, sir. My God, I had taken so much pains. Recording is bad? She said, yes, sir. I put in my VCR and saw. Picture was absolutely clear. But 5 minutes mime show is all right. Whole class mime show, class after class for the whole year is a punishment. Is it not right? How can you stand it? So therefore, this mime show was happening too much. I learnt it. Then, very interesting thing happens. The mime show, understand, our teachers, our students are so good, they won't tell you. Ask any student of yours, pick up any student. How was my class? Ask him. What will she say? Have you come across even a single student in your life who says, your class, boring? Has anybody said it? Nobody will say that. Our Indian students are so kind. For 2 reasons they say good things about you. Why? One is they don't want to hurt you. If you say class was boring, you will feel bad. They don't want you to feel bad. Secondly, if they say your class was bad, you start repeating it all over again. You're finished once, go. You understand? You may start repeating the topic again. Now you are through it. Therefore, I request you, once in a way, in your school, I'd request Dr. Joseph also. Please do that in your school. Keep the video on the back side and record your class. Only for your improvement, not for anything. Keep it on the last bench and record. When you go back and then you understand, another lecturer came to me next day. She said, sir, I am so grateful to my students, sir. They have tolerated me so long. Because, my board work was so shabby. The movement on the stage was so it's not graceful. Suddenly you go, voice modulation is flat. It is not appropriate. Therefore, once in a way, please check it. These are the qualities. She said, dramatize. Voice modulation. Have you seen the My Fair Lady movie? I am not the producer, but I still request you to see it. My Fair Lady. It's famous film, old-time film, but it can never be old. It is basically based on Bernard Shaw's Pygmalion. Pygmalion drama, if you have read it. The same thing is in the movie. Wonderful. There, Professor Higgins is teaching the village girl how to become a most modern girl. Teaching her language. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plains. The voice should move like a ECG chart. Some of us talk so flat and monotonous. Some language teachers don't move also. They stand near the board and go on talking. Sometimes benches may shake, but they will not shake. 45 minutes they stand like this and talk. How can children concentrate on you? Is it not right? Some people make too much of movement in the classroom. I had a maths teacher. It was a scary thing for us to sit in the first bench. Okay, yeah, you got it? You'll go to the board and write. Again, go there, you follow it? He will run for about 3 kilometers in 1 hour. 6th period, so tired, What else can happen? Too much of movement is also bad, and absolutely standing motionless is also bad. You must know how to move in the class gracefully, how to make your voice modulation. That's what she mentioned about dramatization. Any last one more person can speak? Yes, ma'am.
never had a library period or
Yeah.
separate or aloof library period. So whenever a teacher was on leave, we were taken to the library. And they used to give us books. And once I was reading Snow White. And then next day, another teacher was on leave, so they took us. Then I requested the librarian that I want the same book what I read yesterday because I read only half of it. But she said, no, read what is given. So those days we had very limited books, and library also was constrained. Then when I came up to college, so there was a lot of liberty, a huge library, and then I had taken economics as my major subject. So we had liberty, we had a library period, and they used to give us assignments. We used to go to the library and refer. And there also we had very limited books, and we used to grab for it. But I became friendly with the librarian, and I used to stay back because librarian used to stay back, put things in order, and then she used to leave. So I used to stay back with the librarian. I used to put books in order, and meanwhile I used to sit and write my notes also. Then now I am a librarian.
Oh,
Yes, and I loved the way my librarian was friendly, and she gave me a lot of liberty to write notes, to stay with her, and I used to help her putting books back into the racks. And for a story, the climax is very important, sir. And my school, when children come to my library class, they pick a book, and in front of everybody, they're so proud to pick that book. In front of everybody, they just look at everybody like as if they picked something very precious, and they go back to their seat and read. And as I said, the climax is very important. So they feel very happy after reading the book, and sometimes some children say, please keep this book for me. So I hold the book for them. And this morning we had a session before tea break. So I never got a conclusion. The climax part of your real story, where your grandfather carried that 4 kgs of rice. You didn't tell us the climax. What happened to the 4 kgs of rice?
but I'll stop at this stage. I have written certain qualities on the board there. If I had gone on for some more time, I could have listed some more qualities of a teacher. One is the teacher must be good in the content. You must have good content first, then appropriate teaching style to communicate that. Did you not have some teachers you knew the subject well but could not teach properly? Then you all said, sir knows but can't teach. Overhead tank is full, but the water is not coming in the taps. You understand? Overhead tank is full, but the tap we are not getting the water. Something is blocked on the way. Some teachers are like that. For some teacher, water is coming so fast, but not much water in the tank. That means content is shallow, but the way of expression is so beautiful, it looks like a Sarvajna. He knows everything. Is it not right? The third one is, teacher must be strict but not harsh. You should be very careful in using your language with students, my friends. I have a specific request to make. When you talk to your students, be kind to them. One careless word which can hurt the child can change his future. I'm sure you heard of the name of Vikram Seth. Vikram Seth is a great writer. He got the Pulitzer Award and Booker's Award, and a very famous writer. Once we were together in Delhi for a conference, he shared a small example I would like to share with you. I don't know whether Vikram has written this story anywhere, but he told us in a small group. Vikram was studying in a Delhi school. Please visualize, it could be Bangalore Devamata school. He was studying in 6th standard in a school, and there was a good English teacher. She was teaching them a poetry, particular poem. She taught so well, all children liked her so much. And suddenly she said, why are we reading somebody's poems? Can't you write poems yourself? Small poem, about anything that you see. Write a poem and bring on next Monday. Children were all charged up. They wrote poems in their own way, and every child took a poem and gave it to her. She collected all of them and said, look, give me 2 days' time. Wednesday in my class, I'm going to analyze these poems you have written. I'm going to grade them also. Children were excited. Wednesday came, and teacher brought all the poems together, and she took one poem and said, look at the poem. The language is so beautiful. Expression is so lucid. Okay, A. This is good. Can be improved upon. B. She went on evaluating all the poems and gave the poems back to the students. And she started a class. Suddenly Vikram stood up. Said, ma'am, did not give my poem back, ma'am. You forgot, ma'am? Till then the teacher was smiling and cheerful. The moment Vikram stood up and asked, where is my poem? Her face became harsh and said, stupid, sit down. You idiot. I told you to write a poem. If you can't write a poem, don't copy from somebody. Shut up. He was so shocked and said, ma'am, I have not copied, ma'am. I have written the poem. You are a cheat, she said. Not only a copy from somebody, but tell a lie also. Don't stand up there. Sit down. I don't want to see your face. Then she started a class and finished her class and went. This fellow started crying in the last bench. It has hurt him, hurt his ego, insulted him. It questioned his integrity also, because you have copied from somebody. He cried and started disliking her. Invariably went and sat on the last bench in her class with total neglect to her. She also did not bother about him. Year passed and next year another teacher came and took the English class. And he passed the 10th standard, went to college. When he was in college only, his articles started publishing in papers. He became a big name. By the time he finished his college, he wrote his first novel, second novel, third novel, got the Pulitzer Award and Booker's Award, and became famous all over the world and started traveling all over. 15 years must have passed. He was in Delhi one day. There was a phone call, and a gentleman was on the other line. He said, is that Vikram Sheth? He said, yes. Sir, I have a request to make. Can you come to our house tomorrow evening, at least for 5 minutes? He said, I don't know. It's listed in my diary tomorrow. Not listed, I can't come. I have no time. Sorry. He said, I know your schedule is very tight, but I have a special request to make. My wife was your teacher. She wants to meet you. She has been telling me for last 3 years, please get Vikram home for 5 minutes at least for 5 minutes. She has been pressing me. So can you make yourself? Your wife was my teacher. Which school? He mentioned the school. Yeah, I spent most of my time there. Which subject your wife taught? And he said, English. Then Vikram was excited. English teacher? I know each one of them. They're fantastic teacher. What's the name of your wife? He mentioned the name. Suddenly Vikram's voice became hoarse, became unpleasant. He said, sorry, I can't come. Immediate gentleman said, I know you don't like my wife. She's the same teacher who had spoken bad about him. You are a cheat. Am I right? He felt bad and said, I know that you don't like my wife. But Vikram, the situation has changed completely now. She is down with cancer for the last 4 years. She is counting her days now. For last 2 years, she has been asking me almost every day, can you get Vikram home for 5 minutes? Or take me to him for 5 minutes. I have to talk to him. She is not in a position to move out of the house. So can you come for her sake for 5 minutes? Vikram said, I'll come, but only for 5 minutes. He went in the evening. The husband took him into the room where the lady was sleeping. He could not recognize her. The body is totally emaciated. She was lying on the bed. She looked like a 6th carbon copy, shadow of the past. There was a chair there. He went and sat on the chair. The lady held his hand and said, Vikram, recognize me? He said, yes, ma'am, I recognize you. You taught me English. 1 second, child, before we talk further. I have a job to do. There is a cupboard in the room there. Can you open the cupboard? For us, teachers, children never grow up. They remain children only. He may be Booker Prize winner. Go and open the cupboard. He opened it. I have put a newspaper there on the shelf. Lift the newspaper and there is a brown paper cover below that. Bring it. He brought that brown paper, a big brown paper cover. Open it. He said, when Vikram opened, he was shell-shocked to see his own poem that he had written in the 6th standard. He said, child, she started crying inconsolably. Can you pardon me, child? I was so impulsive on that day. When I saw your poem, I thought the language is too good for a 6th standard child. I was so sure that you had not written the poem yourself. You had copied from somebody. I was angry. I insulted you, hurt you very badly. Though you told me cryingly that I have not copied, ma'am, I did not listen to it. Do you know I had valued your paper on that day? I did not give you. This is the valuation I had done. In a red ink, I had marked F. F means failed. But do you know, Vikram, I realized that you are too good for a 6th standard. I missed recognizing your talent. I valued your poem once again now. I wanted to give you the valued paper. I valued on the other side, see, in green she had marked A++. She cried and said, I'm sorry for my impulsive behavior. Please pardon me. He also held her hand and he had tears in his eyes and said, ma'am, forget it, ma'am. Not only you were wrong, I was also wrong. I stood on the mountain of my ego. I could have come to the staff room and told you, ma'am, I have not copied, ma'am. If you want, I'll write another poem and show you, ma'am. I should have shown and proved my innocence. I did not do that. I was sitting on the mountain of my ego. You stood on the mountain of your ego. We forgot to shake hands with one another. And 20 years have gone in between. Doesn't matter, ma'am. Now we realize it. Let us live happily now. I have great respect for you. He touched her feet and left the house. Next day morning at 6 o'clock, the phone call came again from the same husband. He said, thank you, Vikram, for coming yesterday. My wife was so relieved. When you left, I looked into her eyes. I could saw the flickering of a dying flame. And today morning at 5:30, she died. She died at 5:30. She died a relieved person. The lady must have been waiting for 20 years to apologize. Is it not right? One word that you speak harsh to a student remains completely with the child. Be careful about what you speak. One good word from you, one motivator. You remember, one person gave her some idea, she motivated her, she became a great teacher. How to teach social science, how teacher can be friendly. You can be strict without being harsh. Being strict, nobody complains. You are strict. That means you know you are not condemning a student, you are condemning the act. You see the difference between the two? Supposing a child makes a mistake, you are criticizing the mistake, you are not criticizing the boy or the girl. Strictness is all about correcting. Being harsh is about hurting people, making sarcastic remarks. I learnt it very early in my age. When I started teaching in a college, I was just 20 years and 3 months. Did my master's and came into a college, and the students were there. I used to take class on a Sunday also. I don't know why I was like that. I still curse myself. One day I told Saturday, if all of you great people willing to accept to come on a Sunday, I am willing to take a class. One girl stood up and said, sir, we like you so much. You just tell us, come Sunday, we'll come. Don't use this sarcastic language, sir. If you great people come on Sunday, why that? You tell him, children, come tomorrow morning, I'll take a class for you. We'll come, sir. I learnt a beautiful lesson. Don't use sarcasm for your students. Wit, humor is okay, but sarcasm is bad. Moment you do sarcasm, you lose this chance of becoming strict. You become harsh. Be friendly to students. Be friendly. Friendly does not mean putting your hand on the shoulder and walking and going to a cafeteria. Some people think friendly is becoming cheaper. Becoming too kind to students, giving them questions previous day. That is not friendly. Some people want to be popular by saying that if you study these 5 questions, 2 will come in that. The students will be happy. Ma'am is so good to me now. They gave me question paper previous day. After 20 years, the same fellows will say, that lady would give me question paper previous day only. That means they will not appreciate you. In the long run, that time it is okay. But in the long run, they will appreciate a teacher who was strict. So I will not give you, come prepared for the class. Because they prepared you for the class. Therefore, next one is be affectionate to them. This is very, very important. Be kind to the people. Be kind to people, kind to affectionate to your students. They will remember you for all times to come. Don't differentiate students because of various factors. Energy levels, high should be always high at any level. Dramatize, personalize. That means when you talk to students, personalize it. The child should feel, if you have seen that in your own school days, a favorite teacher of yours, very favorite teacher of yours, you always felt he was teaching to me only. Is it not right? Did it not happen? But believe me, every student felt like that only. A great teacher is one who speaks in such a way that you all feel he was teaching me only. That is personalizing. And then secondly, you have got storytelling ability. A teacher must be a great, great storyteller. If you are a great storyteller, whatever the content you have, you can pass it on effectively. I can go on adding more qualities in it. Now please see, these are the qualities you found in your teachers. Am I right? I have not written the qualities myself. You mentioned, I wrote them there. These are the qualities that you liked in your best teacher. If you want to be the best teacher ever, what qualities you should have? The same qualities. That means at the end of your journey as a teacher, for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever God has ordained, at the end of your journey, even if 2 students say, my life is done because of that teacher, your life is successful. Am I right? You should be happy with that. Therefore, question is this, we owe our success only to 1 or 2 teachers. This I call the spectrum of teachers. On one side, teachers are forgotten. It looks so insulting, Imagine, you forget the students is natural. Every year, new batch of students come. After 15 years, you may not remember the student is okay. Supposing the reverse happens. Student says, were you there, ma'am, at that time? I studied there only, but I don't remember you. It's such a slapping thing. It insults you. Student may forget you. You may forget the student. But you become such an extent that student don't remember you also. It's not a good sign. Therefore, my friends, this is very important to me. We owe our success to only 1 or 2 students. I'll come to this very crucial thing now. I don't know how many of you heard of this name of this great man. Swami Ranganathananda ji. Swami Ranganathananda was a boy who ran away from Kerala, came to Mysore in Ramakrishna Ashram to help Swamijis to wash their clothes, cook for them, clean the floor, and all kinds of errand jobs. 8-year-old boy came from Kerala, studied scriptures, became a Swami, and finally died as the president of the Ramakrishna Math. One of the greatest person I have seen in my life. It was he who brought me into education. Even Jawaharlal Nehru said, he is the greatest cultural ambassador of India. And he is called the modern Vivekananda, one of the greatest. When I got selected as a lecturer in a college, I took the appointment order and went to Ramakrishna Ashrama here in Bangalore. Swami Adi Devananda was the president at that time. And incidentally, this man was here in Bangalore. He was the president of Hyderabad Ashram at that time. When I saw Ranganathananji, I was so happy. I gave the appointment order in his hand and touched his feet and said, Swamiji, can I become a lecturer? Can I become a teacher? These great people are always funny. They never give direct answers. I asked him a simple question, right? Can I become a teacher? He can say either yes or no. Instead of saying yes or no, this man said, son, I have got 3 questions for you. I wanted an answer, but in lieu of it, I got 3 questions. But I come here, my friends, to tell you, most of you at least are younger to me in age. Intelligence-wise, you may be higher, but at least in age, you are younger to me. These 3 questions have haunted me all through my life. I have been teaching for 45 years now. They have haunted me. I come here to pass on these questions from my shoulder onto your shoulders and go away. These questions should haunt you. As long as these 3 questions haunt you and bother you, there is a possibility that you become a great teacher. If you feel these questions have no relevance to me, there is a possibility you miss the chance of becoming a great teacher. Questions are very simple. I'll discuss these 3 questions today. That be all right? Is it okay? Are you feeling very tired? Okay. First question is very, very simple. Do you love your subject? Do you love your subject? Yes, all of us say, yeah, that's why we're teaching. No? For 8, 10, 15 years we are teaching because we love the subject. The question is not simple. Great people's questions are not simple. They have layers and layers of answers in that. One is, do you mean to say I love my subject because it gives me a job and sustenance? Or I can't live without the subject? Think over. Do you think you can live without the subject? If you are really passionate about the subject, you'll go to 10 people and get more books and read from them. We are all good teachers, very honest teachers. When the academic year ends on April 10th, am I right? April 10th, the academic year ends, we decide, this vacation I should read at least 2 books. Am I right? You decide I should read at least 2 books. 10 days in the vacation, your conscience asks a question. You said you wanted to read 2 books. When do you start? You hammer on the head of the conscience. Keep quiet. Vacation I started just now. let me enjoy for some time. There is a marriage here, and there is a housewarming ceremony here, and there's a family tour also here. We finish all that and come a day before the school reopens and come back to school and confess in the staff room, this vacation I could not read anything, Is it not right? You could not read because that was not a priority for you. Everything else was a priority, but not reading. I'm a committed optimist, but I become pessimist when I sit for the interview of teachers. It is my fortune or misfortune. I sit in the interview of teachers, of hundreds of teachers every year, because we manage about 86 schools all over the world. We have to interview teachers. One question I ask always is, can you tell me the names of the books you read last year? 3 books you read last year. Very rarely I come across a person, forget about analysis and criticism of the book, they can't mention the titles of the 3 books. Watch your own life. Don't have to answer my question. Check, have you read 3 books last year? 3 good books on education have you read last year? On your own subject, have you read some good books? Very rarely we read. We read textbooks, the same textbook, and our infinite wisdom of our boards, whatever the boards, CBSE, ICSE, State Board, all of them, they are so good that they don't change the syllabus. Same textbook continues, and after 10 years, you are just as good as the textbook and no better. I'm using little harshly. It's a teacher's group, therefore I don't have to be goody-goody. Am I right? We become just as good as the textbook and nothing more than that. I don't know anything beyond that. Do you think it is a sign of a person who loves the subject? If you love something, you store it. I was a part of the committee in UGC, University Grants Commission. I was a member of the University Grants Commission, to see higher education ethics in higher education. The report says, please be, not my word, report says 70% of the college lecturers do not own, I underline, do not own more than 20 books in their subject throughout their career. They don't own any books in the house. Why? Library is there, no? You understand? It may be true for you also. We don't purchase textbooks also. Schools have not given textbook at all. 8 rupees textbook. We don't purchase it. But go to a hotel and we spend 1,000 rupees on a dinner. But you don't purchase books because costly, no? Books are costly. Please watch my words. I'm not saying anything harsh. I'm telling the reality of life. You may be exceptions, but basically fact remains, we don't spend money on purchasing of books. We don't keep books in the house because library is there. If you like something, you store in your house. Somebody likes music, you go to their house. In the hall only, there is a beautiful collection of all CDs are there. She proudly says, see, all Yesudas collection is here. All P.B. Srinivas here. All S. Janaki here. Or Tata Mangeshkar here. Am I right? Or Kishore Mohankar, whatever you like it. You have got the entire CDs. Why do you keep the CDs there? What does it indicate? You love music. Am I right? Because you love music, you stuff your whole house with music CDs. A friend of mine loves crockeries, the cups and saucers. I don't know why. And this fellow travels so much. Everywhere, any part of the world he goes, he brings cups and saucers. You can't walk freely in his house. Everywhere cup saucers, cup saucers. Is it not right? What does it indicate? He loves cup saucers. And I know of a house where the lady is very fond of what is called knitting and tablecloth decorations. She does it beautifully. Pardon? Embroidery. Yes, sorry, correct word. Embroidery. She loves embroidery. And you go to her house, everywhere you find embroidery. What does it mean? It indicates that she loves embroidery. Similarly, for a teacher, you love the subject, you must have some books of that. Do you go to somebody and ask, I didn't understand this topic properly. Can you share it with me? In the vacation or sometime go and talk to other teachers and learn from them. Very few people do that. If you love your subject, then you can become an extraordinary teacher. I wrote an article very harshly. A cobbler on the roadside, the man who repairs chapels, spends 5 rupees on his job every day. Is it not? He gets some thread, he gets some sharpening his tools, he gets nails, leather, polish. He spends 5 rupees on his job every day. A tailor spends 20 rupees on his job every day. Gets a new thread, buttons, hooks, canvas. He spends about 20 rupees on his job every day. How much do we spend on our job every day? Nothing. It is the only profession with no investment at all. We don't spend anything, and we don't feel bad also that we are not spending. Therefore, if you really love your subject, you should not only spending money is important. How much effort you put on learning this. Today you don't have to spend, go to Google Bhagwan and download, so many things are there. Put in your file, read them, prepare yourself for the class. Do we do that? Do you love your subject is the first question. Very simple question. Second question is slightly difficult in the increasing order of difficulty. Do you love your profession? Do you love your profession? People say, yeah, that's why I am for 20 years. No. You may be here for 20 years, but doesn't mean that you love it. Many people say, yeah, teaching is not good. No money at all. Salaries are low for teachers. Is it not right? Please believe me, I am telling you with my experience, salaries are never high for a teacher in any part of the world. Even in England or US or you go to any country like Japan, salaries of teachers are not high. You know why they say? In Japan particularly, I spent a lot of time there. They tell me, teachers need not be given more salary. Teachers themselves say that. You know why? We have more advantages in teaching. One advantage is teachers live longer than anybody else. You know why? People go to meditation center to do pranayama, om, they do that. You don't have to do 6 periods a day, you have said Omkara so many times. Isn't it? Your natural breathing exercise, your lungs are always clean and beautiful. You live longer. And secondly, you never become old. You remember? Your classmates elsewhere in other professions, they look so old and haggard. You are looking so smart. You know why? You are living with young people all the time. You understand? This is the only profession that directly has a dialogue with the future all the time. You are not talking to the past any time. Remember, you are not talking to dead files. You are always talking to new students. You have seen the student changing in the last 5-6 years. Tremendous change in the students. Earlier, students used to be so scared of teachers. So nervous when teacher came. Good morning, ma'am. Very politely. Today they don't say good morning, ma'am. Hi, ma'am. Is it not right? You have seen in your own lifetime in 5 years, principal was respected and scared simultaneously at that time. Oh, principal came. Today, hi, Princey. They don't even call principal also. Princey, short form. Is it not right? You lived at that age. And earlier, when you put up something on the notice board, students would sincerely stand reverentially before the notice board and write down in their notebook everything. Today, if you permit them to have the mobile in the classroom, they'll take a picture of that circular and take it home. They won't write down. Or given a chance in the classroom, they won't even write what is written on the board. They quick it. Take a picture of it and make a notes of their own. They come and tell you also, ma'am, notes you please send by mail only, ma'am. Why dictate in the class and waste time? Is it not right? Double the time is spent. You also feel it's okay. Make a group, Yahoo group, send one mail and everybody gets the notes. You are free. Is it not right? Tell you, you are more technologically oriented, not because of you, because of the students. Is it not right? Every day new things come, new concepts come. You are always new. Therefore, don't worry about this profession because of salary. I have seen many teachers saying, actually I wanted to do IAS, sir. I could not pass. I tried KAS. I tried bank officer post, also failed. Bank clerical post, I was not successful. Finally, what to do? I did my B.Ed and became a teacher. Nothing wrong about it. Please see, God is not a owner of a super bazaar to give you whatever you want. Is it not right? But then question is this. Don't say it's the last resort I became a teacher. You may be wanting to become an IAS officer, but you became a teacher. Nothing wrong about it. You may not get what you like, but nobody stops you from liking what you get. There are some people make jokes about teacher by choice and teacher by chance. I don't believe in that. I'll share something beautiful with you. Imagine you are all in the same management. Why imagine? You are in the same management. You are under the same management. Dr. Joseph is very fond of you. And then he says, okay, the teachers have done a great job. I must give them some incentive. What incentive to give? He says, I'll arrange for a paid trip tour. We'll take all the teachers on a tour. Great tour. You're all excited. Where to go? Where shall we go? The trip is planned. Can we go to Kedarnath? Have you heard of Kedarnath? Deep in the Himalayas. Has anybody been there? You have been there? Oh, so nice. So many people. I went there twice and came back alive. Absolutely fine. If anybody does not believe in God, you should take them to Kedarnath. Not to the temple. Not to the temple anyway. Halfway through the journey only they will say God is there. But the journey is terrible. There is a place called Joshimath. It's not Joshimath actually. Jyotirmath has become Joshimath. From there the journey starts. Horrible road. You name any kind of curve, it is there. Blind curve, U curve, whatever. And then on one side you have got the great Himalayan mountain range. Huge. Any moment the stone may roll down and knock off. You saw it just 2 days ago. In Badrinath road was blocked because the stones came down. Each stone, one stone was of the weight of 200 tons. Can you imagine? One stone rolling down like this, hits the bus, it takes the bus also down. On one side, huge mountain range and very delicate road. On the right side, you have a precipice of 5,000 to 10,000 feet. If you fall down there, you don't have to worry. What is the point in worrying? If the bus cannot be located, what about human body? It can't be located. When people go, imagine now, we are there in Joshimath, journey is starting. It's always biting cold and drizzling, roads are bad. And then you read in the paper that road is bad and 2 buses went down and you are scared. And you see the buses standing there. All of us have to go in buses, no? One of you have the courage and want to go and talk to the driver. There's a driver standing there with a stick in his toothpick. And you go and ask him, are you the driver? He says, yes, I'm the driver. You ask him the first question. Since how long are you driving? Why are you asking? Are you RTO? No. You're asking question because you want to be safe. If this fellow has been driving for some time, it is good for me. He says, I've been driving for last 8 months. Oh my goodness. Only 8 months and driving on this treacherous road? With little more flutter in the heart, you ask the second question. How is the road? Why are you asking? You don't have the road contract. You are asking because if the road is safe or not. He says, road, horrible. Only yesterday 3 buses went down. Are you happy about the answer? And finally, with the heart in the hand, you ask him the last question. Do you enjoy driving? He says, me, enjoying driving? Takdir mein likha tha na, driver ban gaya. It written in my forehead, I should become a driver. I never wanted to be a driver actually. Actually, the moment I sit behind the steering wheel, I feel like sleeping. If he says that, do you travel by that bus? Going back to Bangalore is okay. Will not go to Kedarnath because this fellow is so uncertain about it. Whether he likes it or not, he should drive properly. Drive properly. Imagine, with a careless taxi driver, there are 5 lives which are in risk. The driver is stupid, but 5 people suffer. A careless bus driver puts 50 lives into risk. A careless pilot can put 300 lives into risk. Can you imagine when you are traveling in a bus? Do you ask the name of the driver? When you are traveling by any bus, do you go and ask the driver's name? Do you check his driving license? It's all on faith. You trust that this fellow drives properly. You sleep or read or talk to somebody else. You are enjoying your journey, assuming that this fellow is opening his eyes and driving properly. If he is not doing that, he is putting 50 people into risk. Extend the logic. If there is a disinterested teacher, she is putting at least 10,000 lives into risk. Is it not right? If you don't teach properly, a boy who could have been Sir C.V. Raman lands up as an attender elsewhere. Or if you teach well, a boy who could have been an attender becomes Sir C.V. Raman elsewhere. Is it not right? During your lifetime of 25 years or 30 years when you teach, thousands of students come into your class and go away. If you can kindle the hearts of a few students, they'll be exciting, they'll be successful. You know of Rameshwaram? Small little place, pilgrimage center. And there was a school for fishermen children. Government school. No facility at all. There was no flooring. There's only sand area. Children used to sit there, and there used to be a teacher who go into the class, no teaching aid for him. He took the daily newspaper, spread it on the table and said, children, don't think Rameshwaram is the end of the world. There are beautiful places like Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta. You should go there. Explore your life. Go outside India. The teacher, a kind teacher, will pass on his dreams onto the eyes of the young ones. One day he was teaching them how birds fly. He was drawing the pictures and showing how the bird flies. He said, bird pushes with the wing, the air backwards, and the bird moves forward. He explained for 20 minutes and asked, do you understand? Children said, no sir, we didn't understand. The teacher said, how foolish I am. Come out of the class. The school is on the beach only. Come. All the children went out. He said, watch the bird there, watch the bird there. How it flutters the wing, pushes the air back and goes forward. In 5 minutes, children understood. The children went home. But one boy remained there only. He said, sir, I have a question to ask, sir. What is the question? The boy said, all right, birds, you said, okay, sir. The bird wings flutter, they push the air back and go, sir. But the planes don't flutter the wings at all. Planes, when they fly, the birds' wings are just like this. How does it fly, sir? There are so many people inside, so much of luggage is there. How does it fly? The poor, honest teacher said, I don't know, child, because I have not seen an airport. You should see. Not only see, please watch, remember this sentence. Make an excellent plane and take it on moon. Make an excellent plane and take it on. This got etched in the child's heart. He went home. Whenever he saw the picture of a plane, he would cut it and paste it on a book. Thought of only planes, planes, planes. Did his engineering from Madras. Then went to NASA and learnt about missile making. Came back to India, became a DRDO chief and got Bharat Ratna and became the President of India. You know I'm talking about Dr. Kalam. He has told me this story at least 10 times. At least as I remember. This is the problem with all old people. You know, in your house also it happens. If you have a grandfather at home, he goes on narrating the same story 100 times. You know every story by heart now. And moment he starts, please stop. I've heard it so many times. Is it not right? Has it not happened to you? My 2 sons were scared of my father. You advance in age, many things they forget. But some things they remember, they never forget. There's one grand story of my father who purchased a motorbike, a big 350cc motorbike. It's called Royal Enfield now. It was called something else it was called, a big vehicle. Bullet is called Bullet now. It was called by something British name earlier. He purchased that motorbike without knowing how to drive and took it home. It was a great saga of adventure. And my sons were tired of hearing it. 100 times they must have heard. Moment my father said motorcycle, they will say, Acha, we'll come later. They'll run away from there. If my sons have heard it 100 times, I must have heard it 1,000 times. But what I would do is, whenever my father was sitting alone, I would go and sit next to him. Anna, you took a motorbike, is it? He said, yeah. Have I not told you? No. He will start telling me all over again. And my sons would look at me like this. You have heard it so many times in my presence only. Why are you hearing? I told my sons finally, why I hear this? Same thing about Dr. Kalam also. We were traveling to Chandigarh by flight. He was sitting there and I was sitting next to him, and his secretary Prasad was sitting in the front. Kalam asked me, have I told you about my teacher? Ayyar master? I said, no. Then Prasad looked at me and said, in my presence you only heard 4 times and he is telling a lie. I said, no sir. Again he started telling me, same passion, without changing a word. He told the whole story again and then said, see, the seed for my desire to become an aviation scientist was sown by my teacher on the beach of Rameshwaram. This sentence I have heard so many times and I repeat the same thing. The seed for my desire to become an aviation scientist was sown by my teacher on the beach of Rameshwaram. I still wonder. And I told Prasad, why I listen to him? Even if it tells me 100 times, I'll listen to him. You know why? Please do that in your house also. Elderly people are there. You can't give them any big gifts now at this age. The biggest gift you give is listen to those stories. When they're telling the story, don't you see sparkle in their eyes? Not only that, they go back in age to that age. They become young. They narrate the whole story. They laugh and be happy. You can't give a bigger gift than that. I heard from Dr. Kalam only for this reason. And then, please believe me, if a primary school teacher in Rameshwaram school can produce a president of India, what is our problem? You understand what I am saying? Only thing required is the passion. Dr. Kalam told me 100 times at least, Karajagi, when you go and train teachers, don't teach them techniques of teaching, other things you can teach if you want. But first teach them, if you are not passionate, don't remain in teaching. If you are not passionate about teaching, you should be passionate about teaching. This is my field, I love my profession, I live for it. If I go into my class, all my problems disappear. We are all human beings, we have problems of our own, right? Do one thing. Put all your problems in an imaginary bag. Think of a bag, put all your problems in that. Imagine there is a peg outside the classroom. Hang your bag there and go inside the class. Don't take your problems inside the class. You are the emperor of the class, you are the empress of the class. Handle the class, enjoy the class. But while going back, don't forget to take the bag. Because somebody has to put the bag there. Is it not right? Enjoy your class. In the class, don't allow your personal life, mundane things to come into life. Because you are dealing with the future. You are not dealing with the dead past. Is it not right? You're telling me only make passionate. I'll share some other beautiful example. I've written so much about it. And this incident I quote everywhere. Long back, when I was doing research and started teaching, I finished my master's and went to US to teach. From there I went to Tokyo to teach. I was there for about 10 years in Tokyo University teaching chemistry. Did I say 10 years? 10 months. I was there for only 10 months. I was staying in a hotel. One day I finished my class and came back. I didn't understand Japanese language. Television was just started and I couldn't understand the Japanese language. So what do? I went for a walk in the garden. Are you with me? Okay. Please remember, this is a beautiful example. I went into the garden to have a walk. A beautiful garden. As I entered the garden, I saw a young Japanese boy carrying 2 cane baskets on both his shoulders. It happens in Lalbagh or Kabban Park, you go, they come to sell groundnuts or some toys and all that. I thought this one fellow selling some toys. He kept the basket there. From the basket he started taking things out to sell. What is he selling? I looked there. He took out a pigeon from the bag. A pigeon. I said, my God, in Japan even the pigeons are so disciplined, they are not flying. But actually it's not a pigeon at all. It's a toy. Those days Japan was famous for mechanical toys. Give the key, they will run and fly. It is exactly looking like a pigeon. Same color, same softness, same feather. The eyes would roll over, sharp beak and soft legs. He took it out, lifted the right wing. There was a key. He gave the key and threw the bird in a particular angle. He started fluttering its wing. Took 3 rounds like a bird and landed like a bird. Beautiful. It was so nice. I wanted to purchase one for my sister's daughter. But I didn't understand Japanese. He doesn't understand English. It happens when you go to the eastern countries. You don't know the language. What do you do at that time? How do you manage? Gestures and broken language. The deal was struck. I paid him so many yens and took the bird. When you purchase something new from the market, what would you do? You try it. Yes, I made the same mistake. It's a public garden. So many people are there. I took the bird, lifted the right wing, gave the key, and I remembered how he had thrown. I threw in the same angle. It did not take 3 rounds, but went straight. I was horrified and scared. Because it's a bird going in this direction sharp, and the bird's beak is quite sharp. If it hits somebody, it can cause a damage. With a heart in my mouth, I was looking in the direction the bird was going, and my heart stopped. I saw a young couple coming in the opposite direction. Husband was about 26, 27. The lady was about 21, 22. With a small child of about 1.5 to 2 years walking between them. It's a public garden. They come for a walk. And this wretched bird, for whose movement I was responsible, went straight and hit the forehead of the child, right above the right eye. And the child's forehead started bleeding profusely. Please think, if this had happened in Bangalore, what would have happened? 100 people would have gathered. And that taught me such a great lesson. both physically and emotionally, that I will not even dream of pigeons in my life. Is it not right? I thought something like that would happen here. I saw suddenly the man coming running towards me. I said, I'm getting it now, I'm getting it now, I'm getting it now. The husband was running towards me, picked up the bird which had fallen there, came near me and stopped short, looked at me and said, Asian? Looking at my face only can make out I'm an Asian. I said, yes, Indian. He said, understand English? I said, understand English. In broken English, the communication continued. He came close to me. Believe me, he did not use one harsh word to me. Did not use one harsh word. He came close to me, lifted the right wing, gave the key, and threw at a particular angle. It took 3 rounds and landed like a bird. And very politely and very respectfully he said, sir, this is how you should throw the bird. I felt so miserable. If he had scolded me, I would have felt happy. Because for my mistake of hurting the child, I would have been happy if he had scolded me. He didn't say anything. I folded my hand and said, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry I hurt the child. He said, sir, please don't do that, sir. Please don't do that. It's okay. Small injury. Child is okay. Then I saw the lady. The mother was kneeling down and wiping the blood from the child's forehead. The child was still crying. And the lady was mumbling something. When I saw her mumbling something, my guilty mind told me, she is cursing you. Immediately again I folded my hand and told the gentleman, convey my apologies to your wife. It was not my intention of hurting the child. It was an accident. I feel very guilty. I am sorry for it. He said, sir, please don't do that, sir. My wife cannot speak English at all. She is telling me in Japanese, tell the gentleman not to worry. Child is okay. Nothing wrong with the child. It was like a slap on my face. I took the bird, put in my coat pocket, came back to the hotel. I was feeling so bad and guilty about it, and narrated this incident to the receptionist sitting there in the corner. I told her, this is what happened in the garden outside. Does it happen once in a way, or I was fortunate that I had it, or is it very common here? Please see, without lifting her head, the girl said, you are very fortunate, because the couple was younger. If they were to be older, they have beaten you to the pulp. They would have beaten you to pulp. I said, my God, why? She said, young people don't lose cool here. Old people are still angry. I said, India reverse is true. Old people don't go to fight. Arey, chodo bhai, kyun jhagda karna? Chalo, over is over now. Go. Old people will go, but young people raise the sleeves and start fighting. But she told me because they were younger, they did not beat me. I said, why? Why do young people do not angry? He said, no, I don't know. Young people do not get angry here. They don't lose their temper. I said, why? I said, I don't know. Tomorrow I'll take you if you want to know more about it. I was keen. Next day I took this girl, went to St. Joseph Institute of Advanced Studies, and met the principal there. They don't call him a principal, they call a rector. He was a 71-year-old priest. I introduced myself and said, Father, I come from India. This incident happened yesterday. This girl says that young people do not lose their temper. Old people are still angry. Is it true? First of all, I was shocked. Am I right? He said, yes, true. Young people do not lose their cool. Then he added one sentence which shocked me further. Anyone born after 1948 cannot be angry. Hey, Baba, these Japanese must have changed the genes only. Anyone born after 1948 cannot be angry. I said, what happened in 1948? 1948 was not only for Japan, it was for us also, no? We also had 1948. What we did, we are great people. We are supposed to be, even today, my friends, when you go to Japan, they respect Indians. They tell you on your face, we like Indians because you come from the land of Buddha and Gandhi. They are great admirers of these two. You come from the land of Buddha and Gandhi. Our original Buddha and original Gandhi lived in India. You understand? They changed their lifestyle by looking at those two. And these two were here only. And what did we do? First thing we did in 1948 is to kill Mahatma Gandhi. 1948 changed their life in Japan. They became totally non-violent. And what we did, this fellow goes on talking non-violence, get rid of him. 1948, January 30th, we killed Mahatma Gandhi. Now you please see, that man tells me, 1948 changed the whole thing. I said, what happened in 1948? He told me, nothing happened in 1948. Everything happened in 1945. You know, my friends, you have been teaching the students. 6th August and 9th August 1945, bombs were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We have taught them. 6th August and 9th August, 2 bombs were dropped. And go to any school. I would request you with folded hands, please do that. School is not a center for distributing certificates. School is a transformation center. The child should feel transformed at the time he completes his 10th standard and says, I have a stamp of Devamata school. I have a quality stamp here. I can't be bad. I can't be violent. I can't be useless. I always be useful. That kind of brand you should create. Now, what happened to this school? 1945, the bombs fell there. In Nagasaki, 2 lakh people died on the single day. You know, every school has preserved the history of the school. Please preserve your history. Keep it available in the entrance itself. Anybody going there should see the history of the school, how it grew up. And there, they have put the first page of the 10th August newspaper. Headline screams. Headlines, they have laminated the paper, such a big one, and kept it there at the entrance itself. It says, 9th Nagasaki bomb fell. 10th paper headline says, 2 lakh fortunate people died. You understand what I am trying to say? 2 lakh fortunate people died. Others would live to die a more miserable death. The radiation pollution. Even today, children are deformed children. Mentally challenged children is a very high problem in Japan because of the radiation effect. So it says, 2 lakh fortunate people died. Others would live to die a more miserable death. And this man, priest, tells me, yes, that was the turning point in our history. All educationists of Japan sat together and said, violence is not a solution for our problems. Non-violence is the only solution. Since then, we made non-violence as an integral part of education, brought into curriculum from 1948. Any child can go to any school in Japan. He has no option but to become non-violent. I felt like standing and clapping that. Non-violence is a value, am I right? We always talk of integrating values in texts. They have done it already. I asked him, how did he do that? How did he bring non-violence into the life of a student? He said, I don't teach you, go and see the schools. I went to 30, 40, 50 schools in small villages, counties and cities. I found one thing common. I come here to tell you, please implement in your school. Your school will be the best in the country. They have introduced what is called mentor scheme. Mentor, M-E-N-T-O-R. You know the word? Mentor. Anybody knows how the word came? Genesis of the word. English teachers must be there. They would know the genesis of the word. How this word mentor came into being. M-E-N-T-O-R. I'll tell you, please don't forget it. You have studied Greek mythology. There's a great king called Ulysses. U-L-Y-S-S-E-S. Ulysses was a great king. He had only one son called Telemachus. T-E-L-E-M-A-C-H-U-S. Telemachus, only son. Like all fathers, he loved his son. He wanted his son to be an able man. But then those kings had only 2 options at that time. Live happily or fight wars. He thought, I should expand my kingdom to go into wars. But then he wondered, if I go on wars, who will take care of my son? He asked his ministers. Ministers went round the country and brought a middle-aged man and told the king, if you give your son to his care, he will take care. And king trusted this man, entrusted his son and went to wars. And his home, Iliad and Odyssey are nothing but the Ulysses saga of struggle, war. He came back after 12 years after war. His young boy had grown into a mature adult, very confident, courageous, bold, caring, very great leader. And the father went on telling everybody, even if I had brought my son, I would not have brought him up so well. And who had brought him up? The middle-aged man. The middle-aged man who had brought up this son Telemachus, his name was Mentor. His name was Mentor. Please record it as the name of a person who helped Telemachus to become a great man. I always say, poor Mentor had only one student. He had only one student, Telemachus. Don't you think we are more fortunate than Mentor? Mentor had only one student, we have got so many students. By bringing up one child, mentor became immortal. Every language in the world has the word mentor. Mentor became immortal by bringing up one child. We have a better chance of immortality. Is it not right? So therefore, by bringing up this child, I have done this mentoring in the schools. What do they mentoring? For every 10 students or 12 students, depending on the strength, one teacher is appointed as a mentor. I am giving you the process you can start in your school. I have been after many schools, and all my schools have mentors. Every school has a mentor. We touch the lives of the students. And then, the teacher is a mentor. Her job is not collecting fees and tuition fees and giving circulars. Apart from that, she meets the students on a daily basis. How are you? Nothing great about it, not a formal meeting. How are you? How is your grandfather? Okay? You should know the family so well. And visit the house of a student once. Visit the student's house once. By visiting the house, the teacher establishes contact with the grandfather, grandmother or parents and tells them, if the boy is little aggressive anytime, please let me know. Maybe child does something childlike, breaks the window pane of the neighboring house, or throws a stone at his dog, or pinches another child. Immediately message comes to the teacher. What does the teacher do? Take this child into the garden, sit on the chair there and say, you broke the window pane of the neighboring house yesterday. How do you know, ma'am? I am your mentor, I know everything. Please know that smaller classes up to grade 5, children believe you more than the parents. Am I right? Have you not seen the parents bringing the child to you and say, please advise him, ma'am? He doesn't listen to us. It is their child, you have to advise. Because they believe you more. They have taken this principle so beautifully, they make the teacher say, violence is bad, don't be violent. When the child is 3+, the coaching starts. Not one teacher, all the teachers start telling the same thing. Violence is bad. Up to the age of 20, what is going to happen? Is called indoctrination or brainwashing, whatever you call. By the time the child is out of the college, he can't be violent at all. That's what he said. We make our children, the priest told me so beautifully, we make our children incapable of violence. Someday I think we should have chance of standing up and saying, we make our children incapable of violence, then India will be a beautiful country. Is it not right? And that is in our hands. And Japan acknowledges, if you see the history of Japan, they were very cruel people. The chambers of Shaolin, the fighting with each other, the what called martial arts, they are very cruel people. They were the ones who taught Chinese how to torture people. We call Chinese torture. They taught Chinese. Today Japan is the most non-violent country. And they tell with pride, our country became non-violent thanks to the effort of primary and secondary school teachers in our country. Teachers can change the behavior of a country. Therefore, we should think seriously, if the behavior of our country is not all right, we have not taught properly. We have taught physics, chemistry properly. We have taught them how to get 100 out of 100 in mathematics, but we have not taught them how to be human beings. Is it not right? Spend time on that. This mentoring is most important. I belong to that profession which changes the future. I am proud of it. Sometimes our teachers suffer from small inferiority complex because the salaries are not very high. In fact, I went to Hassan one day, teaching the PUC teachers how to teach quantum mechanics. And 3 days training program got over. And the management thought certificates can be distributed by an IAS officer, the deputy commissioner of the district. He came there. Not all DCs are like that. Some IAS officers walk 6 inches taller than what they really are. That style. Arrogance. Yeah, what are you? This man was like that. He went on asking everybody in a patronizing tone, what are you? There was one young boy called Prakash, an excellent chemistry teacher. This IAS officer went and asked, what are you? Suddenly Prakash froze and said, I'm only a teacher, sir. I felt so sad. I went to Prakash, pulled him by the shoulder, took him to the IAS officer and told him, Prakash, never ever say, I'm only a teacher. Please say with pride, I'm the only teacher from whose classes IAS officers come. You understand? From where will the IAS officers come? From our classrooms only. The future prime ministers will come from our classrooms. Future presidents will come from our classrooms. I told him, if this man is so proud that he is an IAS officer, he is a product. I am a factory. Am I right? If a product can be so proud, as a factory owner, I should be more proud. I can produce batches of IAS officers. Therefore, never ever suffer from inferiority complex that I am not much here. Teachers have got to be very creative in the class. If you love your profession, you have to be creative in the class. What to be creative in the class? What is creativity? I'll share something beautiful here, my friends. You'll take it back home and share with your students. Shall I erase it? Oof, oof. It's okay. I forgot this fellow is three-legged. I picked up this bad habit of calling everything a fellow from Dr. Kalam. He was very fond of calling everybody a fellow. Oh, you are my funny fellow. He'll call everybody, you funny fellow. And one day, we had to go from somewhere to go to Kharagpur IIT. We had to travel by train because the helicopter did not take off. And 4 of us were there. So we booked the first AC compartment. He was there, one cabin was given to him. President of India, you know. They cleaned up everything, they checked up everything in the compartment, cleaned it up, made his bed, and security officers came and stood there. Kalam said, is it okay? Yes, okay, sir. He said, good night. He told all of us good night and entered into his cabin. 5 minutes he was back again. Oh, there's a big fellow there. There's a big fellow there. Security people are so scared. They checked up every inch. Where can a fellow come into the cabin? They said, how can they come? They entered inside with a gun, AK-47, and checked up every bit, removed the bed, they stripped the whole thing there. No fellow was there. And 2 of us came out because saw the commotion. He was standing out. Sir, what happened? There is a fellow there. He's not allowing me to sleep. Then I told these people inside, what are you searching for? You can't find a human being there. He doesn't call fellow only to human beings. Everything is a fellow for him. Look for bed bugs. There was a little cockroach there in the corner. Trains are very fond of cockroaches and rats, you know that. All our many rats travel first class AC. You know, in fact, I told the ticket collector, you give passes to these rats because I pay so heavily to travel first class AC. And these travel free. He said, yes, sir, what to do, sir? People eat and leave the materials there and the rats get it. I said, whatever may be the problem, you are supposed to clean it. There was a little cockroach and he was saying, that fellow. So I started using fellow to everything. How to be creative? Please watch carefully, it's a lovely one. I was conducting, creativity means to think differently. Think more options. I was teaching them, creativity is all about having more options. To make it clear, I told him many years ago, about 17, 18 years ago, I was conducting a workshop for small children in the age of 6 to 18. That is from grade 10 years to 16 or 18. That is grade 5 to grade 12. There were 100 children were there. Morning was nice with activities. In the afternoon after lunch, just to pep them up, I asked them a very stupid question, apparently stupid question. Can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? Can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? The senior boys and girls, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, looked at me as if I was coming from a horror movie. They said, sorry, we can't do a triangle with 2 lines. I said, go. All of you go out and sit outside. They went and started. Only chotus were in the hall. I love these chotus. They are really brilliant. And asked them, see, your didis and bhaiyas could not draw triangle with 2 lines. Can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? One fellow stood up and asked me seriously, you know the answer, sir? Correct also. If you also do not know why I asked question to us, I said, yes, I know the answer. I made them groups of 5 each and said, do it. You should have seen the fun. They were screaming at each other, pulling each other's head. After 5 minutes, one girl sitting there in the front started giggling. I said, why are you laughing? Very easy, sir. She told me, I looked so foolish, you know. Like a Napoleon Bonaparte, I had thrown a big question. Can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? And this girl says, so easy. Easy, come and draw it on the board. Can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? Can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? At least I did not know the answer. I knew one answer, not many. And this girl started smiling. Come and write on the board. She came to the board and did something fantastic. Came to the edge of the notebook. I could see a triangle. The edge of the notebook becomes a side of a triangle. Since my fingers are too small, I came and drew the two lines. I said, beautiful, very good. About the event and process, I should tell you. You go to PC Sarkar show. Jadoo. Sarkar has a magic show. He carries a hat like this. In almost every show, there's a hat like this. A long black hat with a long neck. He calls people, is it empty? Please see. Keeps it inverted. Calls somebody. They put their hand inside and see, nothing is there. Nothing is there. But then he says, nothing is there, hat is empty. He puts some flower petals and lo, a bird flies out. A pigeon flies out. We all clap and say, lovely, 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 and come back and tell our neighbor, go and see it. But very few people start wondering, from where did this bird come? Was he hiding in the coat here? You take another ticket and go and sit and watch his hand only this time. You find it's not coming from the hand. It is coming from the hat only. Where was it hidden? You don't know where was the hidden. You get mad about it and you don't leave it. Only few people do that. Most people don't bother about it. They clap and go back home. This person is not keeping quiet. He goes to a magic class and he is told nothing great about it. This hat has a false bottom. There's a false bottom here. Bird is already here inside. And there is a zipped one. It is zipped and it is a hard surface. When you put your hand, you touch this surface but feel you are touching this. When he shows the hat like this, you see this surface but believe you are seeing this. Therefore, when he puts the flower petals, he unzips it and the bird flies out. Now you know the answer. Next time any other magician comes to your town, you go there, he shows the hat. Is the hat empty? You go there, wait a minute gentlemen, you unzip it and the bird flies before the show and his show is gone. How is that only few people did it? Some are worried about the event. They say event and clap and go away. Some people convert into a process. Once you learn it as a process, you will never forget it. Now, similarly, I asked this girl, how did you get it? She told me, I used the two fingers. When fingers came to the edge of the board, I saw the triangle there. This answer I knew. I wanted to push them further. Now, children, you are not allowed to use the edge of the board. Can you understand? You are not allowed to use the edge of the board. Without using the edge of the board, can you draw a triangle with two lines? I thought they will not be able to do it. At least I did not know. With these children, I play blind because I am confident they will give the answers. And after 5 minutes, one boy raised his hand. Yes, sir, I can do it, sir. Without using the edge, he said, yes, sir. Come to the board and draw it. Sorry, I forgot to mention one more thing. As we clapped and she did a great job, one boy stood up and said, sir, she is not creative, sir. What is your problem, man? He said, sir, she requires two lines to draw a triangle. I can draw a triangle with only one line, sir. Is it not right? Only one line. But remember, this is not original concept. This is an original concept. This girl told me the edge of the board can be side of a triangle. This fellow saw there are two edges. Therefore, one line is enough. This is an original concept, is an application of the concept. Or if you permit me, this is science, this is technology. Application of science and technology. I said, good, you are also good. I clapped and kept quiet. Then I asked them, next question, can you draw a triangle without using the edge of the board? This boy raised his hand. I can do it, sir. He came to the board. You see what he did. He came to the board and drew two lines like this and kept quiet. Where is the triangle, man? I asked him. Wait a minute, sir. He closed his pen properly, kept the pen here. See, sir, it's a triangle, and I have not used the edge of the board. He made it clear. I was lost. How did you get this idea of a pen keeping there? He said, sir, that girl told, no, sir, two fingers, I kept my two fingers like this. Please see how one idea stimulates another idea. And I went on moving, sir, but he told me not to use the edge. What to do, sir? Please watch carefully. What to do, sir? After some time, slowly, my tired finger came up. My tired finger came up. I could see a triangle, and this finger is not the edge of the board. Therefore, I can go and keep my finger there. My finger is so small, what can I do? I can keep the pen, pencil, scale, or anything I can keep. I did the pen, sir. I said, fantastic, very good, very creative. We all clapped. I wanted to move further. Now, children, you are not allowed to use the edge of the board. You are also not allowed to use pen, pencil, scale, or any artifact. You are not allowed to use. Can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? At least I did not know the answer. I thought they will give. After another 5 minutes, one boy stood up. I can draw it, sir. No edge, no pen, no, sir. He came to the board and did something fabulous. He drew a picture like this, almost a right angle triangle. Then I said, you fellow, I told you to use 2 lines, you used 3 lines. He became so angry. He said, tell me what you wanted. He said, tell me what you wanted. You wanted triangle with 2 lines. Huh? Did you say 2 straight lines? What I have done is, I have drawn 1 bent line and 1 straight line. I, like a fool, I have studied theories of creativity. I didn't know how to use it. First it says, when your mind is not able to find solutions in 2 dimensions, mind jumps to 3rd dimension. He used the pen. And the theory of creativity says, when you don't find solutions in 3rd dimension also, mind starts manipulating the words. That's what he was doing. You said 2 lines. Did you say 2 straight lines? One is a bent line, other is a straight line. I said, okay, you are very creative. Now the last one, I push you further. You are not allowed to use the edge of the board. You are also not allowed to use artifacts. And you are also not allowed to use bent lines. Can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? I thought it is impossible. I pushed them too far. But one girl there, I can never forget this child. She may be about 13, 14, with spectacles slipping down the nose. She looked at me like this and said, very easy. Very easy, come and draw it on the board. Now my friends, I'll draw on the board what this child did. I didn't understand initially what she did. But then I lost my heart for this child. Amazing child. I wrote this article in the Journal of Creativity. I became famous all over the world. But the credit should go to that child. I wrote this at the same title, Triangle with 2 lines. And you heard of Edward de Bono? Edward de Bono, great man called father of lateral thinking. He sent a mail to me saying, this is an amazing height of lateral thinking. But the credit should go to her. I suffer from a guilty feeling that I don't remember her name now. Every time I go to a conference like this, I try to look at her face and see whether she is that child. I'm waiting to meet her somewhere. So I'll request you, I'll draw on the board what she did. If you like it, if you think it is very creative, please clap. Don't clap without understanding. If you don't understand it, don't clap. But now, what she did was, she came to the board and drew a picture like this. She drew a picture like this. Initially, I didn't understand. I said, what have you done? I told you to draw a triangle with 2 lines. You have drawn 5 lines. She said, she smiled and told me, sir, what you wanted, sir? All that you wanted was, you wanted to draw a triangle with 2 lines. Triangle with 2 lines. I was spellbound. I said, why did it not strike me? How did you get it? She told me, I have been watching you for last half an hour. You have been always asking, can you draw a triangle with 2 lines? You never said triangle of 2 lines. I lost my head on that. I said, it's the height of lateral thinking. The child said, you have been talking about triangle with 2 lines. You never said triangle of 2 lines. Triangle of 2 lines is not possible, because it requires 3 lines. Triangle with 2 lines you can do. With triangle you can do anything. And you should have seen the pandemonium in the hall. Everybody was shrieking and shouting. A boy shouted, sir, I can draw a triangle with 100 lines, sir. Somebody said, why lines, sir? I can draw a triangle with a circle. I can draw a triangle with a rectangle. Anything can be done. With you can do anything. Now I understood an interesting solution from this. Please see, as a teacher, when you are teaching something, students don't understand. Don't blame them. Your method is not appropriate. Change your method. Don't change them. For example, in this case, I understood immediately when there is a problem, triangle with 2 lines, she was thinking from English point of view. I was thinking from geometry point of view. You understand? From geometry point of view, you can't build a triangle with two lines. She said triangle with two lines, English point of view, with you can do anything, you know, can do it. I learnt a lesson. If you are driving from Bangalore towards Tumkur, have you gone there by road number of times? Yeah. When you go from Bangalore, look at your left side, you find that Shivagange Betta, Shivagange Hill. From Bangalore, you go a little beyond, you see the Shivagange Betta looking exactly like a bull sitting down. Am I right? You see the hill, it exactly looks like a bull sitting down. Coming from Tumkur, it doesn't look like a bull, it looks like a Shivlinga. If somebody has a house here, he always says Shivagange Betta is like a bull. A person staying there will say Shivagange Betta is like Ishwarlinga. It is neither Ishwarlinga nor bull. It is the position from where you are watching it. Is it not right? Similarly, a problem is like this. Any problem you want to solve, you are sitting here, you don't find a solution, don't change the problem, change your position and go from other view and problem will be sorted out. Now creativity, the senior boys and girls, 9, 10, 11, 12, they could not solve because they were taught by good geometry teachers who taught them triangle is an area circumscribed by 3 lines, tria means 3. It is drilled so strongly into them, they cannot think of a triangle without 3 lines. But the children have no problem. See how many options they had? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options. Senior boys and girls had no options. Therefore, if you want to be creative, create more options for your teaching. Create more options. Teach in one method, you can't do it, go to another method. Have very little time, but I'll do. One activity I will do. Can I have 2 people coming on the stage? 2 people can come. Volunteers find it so difficult to come. 2 gentlemen or 2 ladies can come. Come in. One more lady. Yeah, please come. Request to make. Please be very careful in observing whatever I do. If you don't observe correctly, you will not be able to solve the problem. I'll tie this rope on the right hand now. I'll leave some space now. I'll make it not so tight. I'll leave some space so that it doesn't hurt you. All right? Give me the other hand. Same thing, I'll tie this rope on the other hand. As I've done for this hand, I'll leave some space. Okay? I'll leave some space, but don't pull too hard and hurt yourself. Okay? Good. Give me your hand, ma'am. Right hand. Same thing, I'll do it for Madam Prabha. I'll leave some space, ma'am. But don't pull too hard. Same thing. I leave some space, but don't pull too hard and hurt yourself. Yes. Stretch your hands. Stretch your hands now. Stretch your arms. Yes. Now please see, they have gone into a peculiar position now. They are tied by rope, 2 ropes. Have you heard of famous 2-ring puzzle? If one ring is in another ring, you can't take them out. If one ring goes into another ring, you can't separate them. Now please see whether we have got into same situation. This is one is ring, this is Prabha's ring. Now one ring is in another ring. I want both of you to come out of this knot without doing 3 things. 3 things are to be remembered. There are so many judges now. 3 things. First one is, since I've tied it loose, you can't pull it out like a bangle, as you did just now. You can't pull it out. Second one, you can't unknot the knots. You understand? You can't unknot her knots, or she can't unknot her knot. Any one of us cannot unknot. So pulling out of the hand is out. Unknotting is not allowed. And third and most important, you can't cut the rope. Understand? You can't cut the rope. You're all very intelligent people. I should be careful in giving instructions. Somewhere I was doing it and I told him you can't cut the rope. One girl said, can I burn it? Burning is also cutting, not allowed. All right? I'll give you 1 minute time. If you can't do it, I'll request somebody to come and help us. Okay? Is it okay? 1 minute is fair? Yes. Try. Very easy to come. Yes, correct, correct, correct. Oh, Prabha madam got it. Little more complicated now. Yeah, correct, 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 absolutely right. Yes, correct. That's right. Yeah, yeah, something happened. Something happened. Yeah. Wait, wait, wait. Solve the problem now. Yes, correct. This is right. This is right. Very nice. Correct. That's correct. Absolutely right. To go through that. Very easy. Correct, correct. They are all saying, sit down. Yeah, correct, correct, correct. At least you solved the previous problem, no? You came back to original position at least. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, correct. Yeah, correct. Prabha madam knows how to come out of this. Yeah, yeah. Try, try. See, so many people know the answer actually. 1 minute over. Shall we ask anybody who can come and help? A friend in need is a friend indeed. Because advisors are always safe, you know. Advisors never get into problem. Even if advise wrongly, they will be the one who gets stuck. Yes. Can anybody come? One person quickly. Come, come, madam. Come. Please come. The advantage is if you make a mistake, you will not suffer. They will suffer. I always say, larger the number of advisors, greater is the confusion. Have more number of advisors. Ma'am, you come this side, ma'am, so that everybody can. Come this side, madam. You come this, so they will know what you are doing. Yeah, correct, correct, very correct, very correct. Yes, good, good, very good, very good, very good. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, she has idea. It's a good idea. We tried already. Okay, okay. Okay. Anybody else? Come, come, madam, come. You try, madam. By the time you finish, they'll come. Yeah. Madam, you come this side, ma'am. You come this side. Uh-huh. Ma'am, come this side. Ma'am, come this side. Come this side so that they will see what you are doing. Yeah. Yes. Please show them how to do it. Very correct. Absolutely correct. Beautiful. Yes. Yes. Correct. Yes. Very nice. She got it. When, when somebody is in difficulty, you feel you got the solution. When you go there, solution disappears. Correct, correct, very correct. Beautiful. I think they got it. I think she got it now. Very good, very good, very good. They are in the same position again. Now I'll solve this because I have little time. Anybody would like to make a final try? Half a minute. Please come, ma'am. Oh, she has a new idea. Very good. This is a brilliant idea. This is a brilliant idea. Yes, correct. Very good, very good, very good. Very good. Ma'am, you come that side so that everybody will know. Yes, correct. 3 conditions. Shall I repeat the conditions? Very simple. You can't pull it out of the hand, you can't unknot, and you can't cut the rope. Without doing 3 things, you can do anything. They have to come. They have to come out freely. I mentioned they have to come out freely. They can go to their place. Very easy. They should be free from the knot. Yes, correct, correct. Yeah. We have to do something, I know, but what is to be done? Yes. The last time, last effort. Yes, correct. This is better. This is better. It's a new idea. Please see, every time they are trying a new idea. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Show you how. Come. Yeah, at least come back to the original position. Yes, yes, correct. Good. At least you came back to original position. Madam, Vani ma'am, go. Stretch your hand. Yeah, you go around. No, go around yourself. Yeah. Good. She knows how to come back to original position. Yes, go around yourself once again. Yes, once again. Yeah, that's better. Fine. That's enough. That's enough. Now stretch your hands. Stretch your arms. Now please see, I'll tell you how to do it. I had given you 4 clues. While giving the structuring the game, I told you please remember everything what I say. If you miss something, you will not be able to solve the problem. Remember, I gave the same instruction 4 times. One instruction 4 times. I said, I am trying it loose. I am trying it loose. I am tying it loose. 4 times I said. They got that this usual problem of a teacher who was on the and I told you not to take it out of the hand. Now please see, I was giving a clue. The solution is here, not there. Now please see what I do. Stretch your arms. I'll take this. This is called pseudo solution. What is pseudo? Non-existence. It looks like a solution, but it is not true. Most of the Prabha thought and Mani thought the solution is here. If I go inside and come out, I can come out. Is it not right? It is not true. What I do now is I take this rope, take it, pass it under the hand, over the fingers, and take it out. The solution is here, but nobody bothers about the solution here. Got the idea, ma'am? How to come out? Yeah. She says, but she will not come out. Again, I put in the not she will not. Because no result is so quickly available. Once you try 3-4 times, the solution is somewhere here. This is the power of perception of a teacher. Perceive properly what is the problem in the class. When you are teaching in a class, students say it is boring. They don't understand. It is not only the problem of the student, it could be your problem. The way you are making it is so boring. As I told you, record your class. Go back home and play and see. When the beginning of my career, I did it. I kept a tape recorder on the bench of a first bench student, recorded, went back home and played. I found at least 15% was sheer nonsense. Why was I saying that? Therefore, I had to refine myself. The perception to see is students are dull. Normally, we make a statement, students are dull. Students are not dull. Students can never be dull. They may be interested in something else. They may not be interested in mathematics or physics, something else they are interested in. Therefore, please try to find out in which they are interested. I normally make a statement, little provocative statement, that students do not fail. As teachers, we fail. Suppose your scooter doesn't start in the morning. You kick it, it doesn't start. 1 week you try. After that, you take it to the garage. And he said, leave it for 2 days, ma'am. I'll repair and give you. You go the 3rd day. He repairs and gives you the key and says, now the scooter is ready. You'll feel happy. If he says, what scooter, ma'am, doesn't start at all, you feel happy about it? You say, I knew that it doesn't start. That's why I brought it here. If the scooter were to start on time, why should I bring it here? Scooter did not fail. The mechanic failed. You go to another mechanic. That's why when the students say, I don't understand, you say, I taught the child for 1 full year, he never understood. I normally reverse the question and ask, how did you teach for 1 full year so that he can't understand? You understand? I taught him for 1 full year, he didn't understand. Therefore I asked, how did you teach for 1 full year so that he can't understand? Change your style, change the perception, things will be much better. And the last question, I have got only 6 minutes left now. Third question I had not forgotten. Am I right? Some of you thought that I forgot the last question. Third and the most important question is this. Can put the light off. Do you think you can love your students at least as much as your own children? The question is so beautiful. You should love your students more than your own children, or at least as much as your own children. The moment you start love your child, you become creative. Imagine a mother who has 2 children or 3 children, one child is challenged child. Do you think the mother would ignore the child? In fact, she will bother more about the child. Go to 100 people, get solution, do something for the child. Why is she so creative? Just for the love of the child, nothing else. If I love my students, I think we'll be extraordinarily good teachers. I have to share an incident here. I think my friend Radhakrishna must have heard it before, this story of mine. And it should be Dr. Kutina is also here. Should pardon me for, it could be little biographical. This story is marvelous. If you remember the story, it's good enough. I wrote it about 35 years ago. It is now translated into at least 14, 15 languages. It happened to me when I was in Dharwad. I mentioned earlier, I was a student of K. Boards High School, Dharwad. A very prestigious school at that time. I was in the 10th standard. My father was a government servant. Being an honest government servant, he was transferred very frequently. Remember, if government officer is very honest, he'll be transferred more frequently. My father was ready. But then he thought, what will happen to the children education? We had a small house and my sister and myself stayed together. My elder sister. I suffered so much because of her. I suffered all through my life because of her. She was 6.5 years senior to me. If the age gap is less, we fight. If the age is more, I respect her. She was more than a mother to me. She was an exceedingly brilliant person. I have not seen a more intelligent person than her in my life. From SSLC to MSc, she got first rank throughout. This lady never saw second rank. I don't know. First rank throughout. And from first year BSc to MSc final year, she created a record of sorts by getting 100%. Major mathematics, minor statistics. If there are 10 questions asked and you have to ask 6 questions, she will answer all 10 questions and come back. Choose anything you want. All were correct. She never went to see her results. I used to go. I'll see who got the second rank, because first was hers. Those days, vice chancellors were not many. Dr. D.C. Paute was a celebrated vice chancellor of Karnataka University. It is a momentous occasion for our family. He came to our house. We had only one chair in our house on which D.C. Paute sat, and the 2 great people along with him, S.S. Wadier and Shapeti was a controller of examination. They sat on the carpet there. My grandfather was worried why the vice chancellor has come to our house. He came and gave a Government of India letter to her. She was selected as the most outstanding student of India, getting 60 rupees per month scholarship at that time. That was the grace of a vice chancellor who came to our house and gave it. Because of her, I suffered so much. Everybody will ask me, you're Lata's brother, no? Why are you like this? What is my problem? If she gets first rank, why should I suffer? But it always happened in comparison. She was in the final year MSc, and I was in SSLC. I finished it. By then, my father got transferred, came down to Kolar. He was down in south, we were up there in Dharwad north. Once the vacations came, sister and myself traveled to Kolar. And when the children come to vacation, they look very nice. My father organized a 6 days tour to Tirupati, Kalahasti and all those places. We came back late at night and slept. Next day morning, my father got up early, and this is the disease with some men. Whenever they are not in town, they come back and read the newspapers of all the previous days and wonder how the life progressed without their not reading the newspaper. My father belonged to that category. He was reading the newspapers of all the days. Suddenly he shouted, "Hey, what is this fellow's number?" I was sleeping. Results had come. Results had come 5 days ago. And those were the days when the numbers of all the past candidates would come in the newspaper, looking like a lottery number at that time. In fact, even if I was awake, I would ask my sister only what is my number. She remembered better than me. She told my father, Anna, don't worry, I'll see the results. She was so confident that her brother would get a rank. She looked into the rank list. Those were the days when internet was not available. Only 10 names will come on the first page. She looked into the first rank list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was not there. Che, this idiot missed the rank. She was sure of first class. She looked into first class, it was not there. Hurry, idiot. Not getting rank, not getting first class also. So they deadly second class. She looked into second class, it was not there. With increased palpitation, she looked into third class, it was not there. I had failed. And my mother and sister started crying. My father was angry. This idiot can't pass 10th standard. What will he do in future? Usual reactions. Father gets angry, mother starts crying. After half an hour, my father realized that I am the only son. Then he told my mother, don't shout at him, he should not do something for his life. She said, where will I shout? You don't shout. There was an understanding. When I got up, my parents were so kind to me. Parents are normally kind. When they are more kind, it's something fishy. I saw something is happening because the eyes were red and they were trying to smile. I asked my sister, what happened, Akka? She could not stand. She hugged me and started crying. You fellow, you have failed in the SLC examination. Which subject have you failed? I said, have the results come? He said, the results have come 5 days ago. See the paper. I went to the paper and same process, rank, first class, second class, third class. It was not there. I was more intelligent than them. I took 2 rupees and got Kannada English paper because maybe Kannada papers make mistakes. In English paper also I had failed. They don't have special animosity against me. And then I started crying because failing is not a great honor, you know. Those days the only person who could guide us was the principal of the school. You remember there was a machine called as telephone in the house earlier, a black box. You have to go on turning the finger like this. Your finger became crooked but the call will not come through. 3 days my father tried to contact the headmaster, he could not. Then he said, we'll go to Dharwad. Both of us went to Dharwad. Please visualize. I'm a failed candidate going to meet the headmaster of our school. I told you about my headmaster. You have heard of a Rishi called Durvasa? Short-tempered fellow, cursing for every small thing. He was 50% more short-tempered than Durvasa. Then, you know, I had to face this headmaster. We were going in the corridor. I prayed God that I should become transparent. I should not see anybody. He was going in the front. Suddenly he turned towards me and said, staff room, as if I did not know. I studied there only. I was only bothered about the headmaster. When he said staff room, I turned and looked inside. I saw my maths teacher sitting there. Unfortunately, he saw me. Hey, Karajagi, come here. He called me. I went inside. When teacher calls, you should go. I went and stood before him like a lamb to be butchered. He scolded me in chaste words. Idiot, good for nothing creature. I taught you mathematics for 1 full year. Can't you get 30 marks? You got 13 marks. Shame on you. 13 marks. Then I realized in which subject I had failed. Till then I didn't know. I got 13 marks. And then he shouted, get out, don't show your face to me. It was he who called me inside. Now he said, don't show your face. How can I go without a face? I went out crying. Then he called my father inside. Those were the days when teachers used to shout at their parents also. He shouted at father and said, what is responsibility, man? Huh? Do you lock the house and go away? This fellow has failed. He cannot fail, you know. We expected rank from him. See, the consolidated marks card has come from SSLC board, according to which the lowest marks he has got is 92 in social science. He got 13 in mathematics. Something has gone wrong. He should have got 100 out of 100. I taught him mathematics. But then you are not in the house. The time given to you to apply for retotaling is only 5 days from the date of results. Please watch my words. I went to your house on 3 consecutive days. House is locked. Irresponsible. Then said, don't worry. On the 3rd day when I saw your house is locked, I came back to school. I myself filled up the application form for retotaling as guardian and I have sent 5 rupees to SSLC board. Take care of this fellow, should not do something for his life. I remember the day also, we came back, 21st of May, hot afternoon. I was sitting alone in the house. I could see the road in front of my house. You know, the summer season, the tar on the road melts. You can see the mirage on the road. Road is burning like a hot stove. Suddenly I saw my teacher coming on the road. Can visualize, kache dhoti, white shirt, black coat, black cap, thick glasses. He was holding the edge of the dhoti in one hand. He was holding his chappals in the other hand. He was hopping. He was walking barefoot. He must have had blisters on his feet. I was wondering, where is my teacher going in this hot time? He was hopping and perspiring. My dear teacher was a diabetic. He had hurt his toe. The toe had swollen so much he could not wear the chappals and walk fast. Since he wanted to walk fast, he said, forget about the chappal. I was wondering, where is he going? He took a turn towards my house, dropped his chappals outside the threshold and walked inside. The time froze for me. I never expected my teacher to come in like this. When your dear teacher comes home, you don't know what to do. As a young child, I just stood up. My teacher did not utter a single word. I want to preserve these 5 minutes in my heart, the innermost chamber of my heart, till the last breath of my life. I cannot forget. He came to me straight. He hugged me and started crying like a child. I had never seen my teacher crying in my life. He hugged me and started sobbing like a child. I didn't know why my teacher was crying. I thought something must have happened to him. I had tears in my eyes. After 2 minutes, he pushed me out, put his hand in the inside of the coat pocket and took out a piece of paper. It was a telegram from the SSLC board, which read, result is changed from failed to 8th rank, send cumulative card for correction. I had got the 8th rank to the state. But let me tell you very honestly, my friends, at that moment I was not happy that I got the rank. I was totally happy that my teacher came home, hugged and cried. In those 5 minutes of hugging and crying, my teacher demonstrated to me what is teachership. He did not give me a sermon on how teacher should be. He demonstrated it. The message was loud and clear. If you don't love your students, you have no business to be in teaching. Teaching is not acting. Teaching is a serious business of transforming people. If you don't love your students, you have no business to be in teaching. My teacher demonstrated to me. He goes up in my esteem when I tell you his own son, Vasant, who had failed in 2 subjects, including mathematics, which his father taught. Let's keep our hand on our chest and see how many of us do that. When my own son has failed, do I bother about some other son who has failed? I would say, forget about it. My own son has failed. I have a tragedy at home. Why should I bother? My teacher did not stop at that. At best, he could have said in the staff room meeting, I don't know why Karajagi failed. He should not have failed. No, that's okay. Nothing more was expected. Is it mentioned in a appointment order? If a student has failed, go home and check up. No. My teacher came home on barefoot with blisters on his feet. Came home and found out. Three days he went to my house and found that I was not there. He did not leave at that. He paid 5 rupees. Remember, my friends, 5 rupees was a fortune for a teacher that day. He filled it and sent it. When the telegram came to the school, he could have sent an attender home. Come immediately, results have come. I would have gone running to the school because it was my career at stake. But my teacher, who was so happy at the success of the student, he pushed the personal tragedy back of his own sons in the backyard, came running home, hugged and cried. In those 5 minutes, he told me a message of lifetime. I decided at that time that I should be a teacher, come what may. And after 45 years of teaching, I have to tell you honestly, I never had a moment's regret. Otherwise, not be standing like this for 5 hours a day and talk. I am passionate about it. It is thanks to my teacher. Fold your fingers into a fist. Slowly bring your hand forward. Stretch your forefinger. Only forefinger, nothing else. And very quickly keep this finger on the left cheek. Please see where you kept your finger. I told finger on the left cheek. Since I'm here, I could see quite a few faces. Most of you kept the finger here and did not bother. Some of you said, the fellow said cheek but keeps it here. They oscillated the finger and said, if he is keeping there, why should I bother? And third, smart people kept the finger and slowly moved on to the left cheek. Doesn't matter. I told you 3 times before, please do only as I say. All right? But most of you did what I did. Remember, my friends, for all times to come, as a teacher, your students and your own children will not do what you say, but they will certainly do what you do. You talk of punctuality and don't go to class on time every day. Go to class every 10 days. And the children say, they believe you are coming late rather than your punctuality. If you want your students to be kind, you should be kind. If you want your student to be honest, you should be honest. There is no other way. I cheated you just now. I want to see how many of you are still very great presence of mind. Last exercise. Keep your hand ready now. This time, please remember, I have cheated you just now. Right? You will not be cheated now. Keep both the hands ready. Ready to clap. Ready to clap. Don't clap till I say 5. But don't delay it also. You're all intelligent people, I should tell you. You'll ask, did he say 5? And then clap will not work. Keep your hand ready. The moment I say 5, tap, one clap I should hear. Not tap, tap, unsynchronized clapping. Let me have one rehearsal. I'll only say 5, you should clap. Keep ready. 5. Still not good. One more rehearsal. 5. It's more louder. One more rehearsal. 5. Good. You should do like that. Don't clap till I say 5. But don't delay further. Keep your hand ready. Absolutely ready. 1. Say 5. 1. 2. 3. 4 and 4. I told you earlier. Yeah, why it happened? But after 4, this will not get any textbook, my friends. I'll tell you there are 2 kinds of values. One is a true value. That means your students and your own children will not do what you say. They will always do what you do. The second experiment of clapping up to 5 is called anticipatory value. It's not an anticipatory value. That means society anticipates certain behavior from you. The day you become the teacher, there is certain behavior expected from you. Anybody else in society can behave in any way. People will not take objection. But the teacher does not behave properly. Oh my God, teacher behaving like this? Why? There is something called anticipatory behavior. Moment you become a teacher, certain behavior is expected from you. Anything other than that, because teachers and parents are the only 2 class of people who become role models without their permission and knowledge. Did you ever ask your teacher, will you be my role model, sir? No, but you took him as the role model. Did you ever ask your mother, will you be a role model? No, she became a role model, or you are a role model for your students. Teachers and parents are the only 2 class of people who become role models without their permission and knowledge. Every moment of your life, your students are observing you. Parents are observing you. Society is observing you. There is a kind of behavior expected from a teacher. If we do that, perhaps we'll be very ethical teachers. Thank you so much.